Please note the views and opinions expressed by the hosts on this show are not necessarily the views held by the station.
You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now it's our turn.
And good Sunday evening, good Monday morning down under. Welcome to another episode of Outside the Box. We do these on occasion, typically 7 nights a week, every day. So if I could do it 3 or 4 times a day, I probably would. It's that much fun. Anyway, welcome to Outside the Box. I'm your hostess, Kate of Gaia. And, woo, she's a warm one today. Yeah, I got out and about for a bit today and managed to hook up with Vicky, take care of a couple of things with my sister selling her house. So a couple of things there that need to get taken care of. So taken care of. And much gratitude as always. You know, it's amazing what the universe does to provide for you in your darkest times. When all the lights you know go out and you feel like you're in the complete darkness, well, that's your creation. The bright sparks, the true sparks show up. You know, the ones that aren't after you for what you can do for them, what you can give them, what you can create for them, what can be coattailed to, you know, feign creation for them, rescue them, save them. Yeah, the pure sparks show up. It's pretty cool. I like it. Works for me. You know, yes, universe, lesson learned. And hello, Kevin. Hello, Catlin. And hello, Sean and Pulsar. Yeah, I've got the page open. I've kind of made a choice here. We're gonna bring it down and dirty tonight, like we don't every night. But anyway, as far as free will choice goes, and I have got Raining Cats and Dogs Part 3 started, and I think I might share what I've got started, which will set the pace for tonight. And you know, it's amazing when I have conversations with people. A lot of the times I have conversations, I want to I want them on the air because these beautiful gems come flying out, and I do my best to remember them and you know, collate them and bring them in. Again, whatever we talk about is relevant and is perfect in the now. There is not a single flaw in creation. The only thing that changes creation is your perspective of it. And boy, has mine been shifted around the block a few times. Yeah. You know, it's like the old question, why, universe, why? Well, because you know, you asked for it. That's the trouble with truth. It's a double-edged sword. And that's kind of what I'm getting into in the third installment for Raining Cats and Dogs. This one I will probably make the final installment. I like trinities, you know, it kind of works for me that way. And then I'll carry on with other subject matter as it is, you know, pertinent and related to the now. And thank you, Ninja, so much. Top is gorgeous. Bag is stunning. The gloves are whoa, and the jewelry you made, and the card and contents, just you floored me. So thank you so much for that. And it fits perfect, by the way. Yeah, imagine that, you know. Playing it safe, right? So there you go. So great, thank you so much. A little note there regarding the music. And I'm going to put this out to everyone. No, my music is not copyrighted in the fictional sense. I don't copy my own work. It's original. And it comes from the All, which belongs to the All. And one of the things you find, especially when you've got these eager beavers that are thieves, you tell somebody that, well, it's not copyrighted, they'll steal it. Safest answer is, I don't know, you'll have to contact the creator. You'll love how that rolls off the tongue, eh? You have to contact God that created that. Yes, absolutely, the I am. That perspective of creation that brought it forth. Because you know what these guys are like. I mean, listen, I know the music industry inside out and backwards, and they're a bunch of thieves. You got a bunch of non-creators, i.e., management and corporate labels and all the rest of it. These people that don't know how to create in terms of music or art or whatever, working all the numbers, and I assure you, the numbers do not work in favor of the creator. That's what this whole game's about. It's about those of us that can create, and we do. And those that cannot create, that have to parasite creation. Right? That's the all-knowing, unable, compared to the unknowing, all-able. Right? There's your able. So we are the able, the divine feminine, and I'm speaking duality for a very specific reason here. I need you to see this. Right? It's still singularity, but I need you to see this. So we are the able ones, the divine feminine creation, and they are the ones walking with a cane. They're crippled. They can't create, so they have to steal. So the game here is to stop the theft and teach the difference. I've had a saying all my life that I can remember is, I will give you the shirt off my back if you are in need of it, even if it's the last top I've got. But the minute you try to take it from me, now we're in a different game. That's when the dragon shows up. You can try to steal her gold, but she'll give it willingly. Promise. It's the way creation works. Creation has no consideration. The only limitations that exist are those in the physical realm. That's why when mom and dad give up the name to the crown without consideration, a gift, therefore, the greedy little bastards on the other side, gobble that up in a heartbeat. Oh, good, look, somebody gave me another creation. I can create all the money I want off this, and it'll be their spirit, their skin, and they can cannibalize each other and keep every one of themselves in a state of zombie fraud. The Walking Dead, cannibalizing each other, looking, to prey on those that can create. That's another allegory for the vampires, right? They're kind of stuck, so, that's the cry for help, basically. So we can, bicker and fight and bitch and whine and do all the rest of it, adding that energy to the destruction, which includes you. Or we can shift it around and start looking at it as, instead of always evil, look at it as good as well at the same time. People say, well, how can, war be good? Well, it woke you up, didn't it? That's certainly something I wouldn't do. And if I ever had the notion of saying that's something I would do, well, now I have the contrast, you see. You can't have one without the other. Sorry, it's not in the physical realm. The Phi, Psi, Kal. Phi, sacred creation. Psi, the spirit thereof, feminine. And of course, Kal, meaning harvest. The longer you stay entrapped in the Phi, Psi, Kal, yeah, they'll recycle you lifetime after lifetime until you go click. And the click isn't that difficult to get. It's the responsibility that's attached to it. That's the problem. That's the only problem I see with people that once they discover the truth are afraid to stand in it. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. Alright, so I'm going to crack this part 3 open. This is basically where we're going. While it's doing that, I'm going to do a different kind of disclaimer tonight. Here we go. Let's get it rolling here anyway. My word program. This is a disclaimer for everyone listening right now. Every one of you that are tuned in. And this is very important. You need to get this. And you need to grasp this fully. It's based on what we have been doing for such a very long time, and what we're doing right now, bringing forth information that has long been veiled under the apocalypse, the leather covering, in this time of revelations, the revealing. There's a lot of responsibility attached to the truths that we've been uncovering. You see, you can't, excuse me, you can't have any different versions of the truth. It's not a truth. It's a perspective of a near truth, or a just missed it truth, mistruth. And we have to be mindful of that. Truth is something that is that will resonate with you. It's something that you go, oh yeah, click. I never thought of that, and then all of a sudden it makes sense, and it, say and say, sense, himself, herself, itself, mine, himself, herself, itself, in the mirror. You see. Never wondered why they call, the martial arts leaders sensei. Oh, I know they spell it a little different, but I don't deal in the spellings, I deal in the phonics. And then I reverted back to the spelling, so I'm not caught in the spell illusion. I'm in the phonics as I hear it, and I can spell it any damn way I want after the fact. And that for me is the biggest spellbinding of all, in that we look at a word and assume it to be something. Right, or right. Sounds the same, but there's 4 different ways to spell that. What was the intent behind it? And that's how the courts and all the rest of the nonsense have been basically handing the people that still want to play in that realm their asses collectively. We've covered that too many times to really get into it any further tonight. I will touch on it from time to time, because I know there are new beings that are showing up at this perfectly level table where we all sit around it equally, sharing ideas. Not bickering, not fighting, just asking, looking, seeing what resonates with all of us. Because it's not about what I'm saying, saying, the act of being himself, herself, itself, the act of creating, because in the beginning there was the Word. Yeah. No, this is a collective of equals, where we sit across the table from each other, eye to eye, no pedestals allowed. You see, here's the problem with pedestals, and why I loathe them so much. Because when someone creates a pedestal for either themselves or someone else, what they're doing is they're taking the playing field out of level, and they're creating a master-slave duality. And they're also creating, depending on which way the pedestal was built, they're also creating a means of ego escape if something goes wrong. I've used this analogy many times. I've heard people say, well, I used so-and-so's process and it didn't work. And I said, well, really? Really? So you walked their entire experience and saw everything from their perspective their entire lives, right? Well, no, what do you mean? I said, well, no, what you did was you used your interpretation with a very deep lack of not understanding, or lack of understanding, like you don't know what that being has been through. And to this day, I haven't had anyone that has been able to tell me that they've walked my path from the time I got here until now. Yet they're very quick to look at things like, the Judge Bows to Sovereign video and have all manner of ego, logic, nonsense and crap and justifiers and deniers and all the rest of it, without ever considering the notion that, sorry, that was my walk. I know exactly what happened. And I'm the only one that does. And all I can do is try to share that experience. Trouble is, the tricky little bastard gets in the way and says, no, I'm much more clever. I'm going to think of something to answer you before you actually say anything. And that's what egos do, right? Now, what you've used is your interpretation of someone else's process. It's not yours at all. Oh, but you'll be very quick to blame them because, well, it didn't work, so they didn't save me, so, screw them. And then you go into the loop again, I've had many people, even, in the last day or so, either, text or email me, how do I do this, how do I do that, how do I do the other? Figure it out. It's not like I haven't been talking about it for almost 6 years. It's not like I haven't, outlined everything I've ever done through writing and through this means. Doing it a whole lot more now, so a whole lot more information's getting out a whole lot faster. And that's something else too. and this goes back to the disclaimer that I'm going to be giving everybody. This is a free will choice game. When you pull yourself up to this beautiful table of truth, and it's a feast, what you take from the table and eat, allegorically, is yours. You are what you eat. And if you're going to feast on truth as we uncover it, here's the thing. The truth that you have eaten and partaken of is yours. And what comes along with that is full responsibility. Here's the trick, and I'm going to go to the essay here because I cover this and I'm going to get into it in a bit more detail. But I assure you, before I read this, anyone that does not feel comfortable in taking responsibility, full responsibility for their own lives, leave the table now. If you want to get caught up in all the fear porn illusions, all the distractions, all the rest of it, there are great entertainers out there called Alex Jones. The list could go on. I like using AJ because he's been around the longest, you know. You're going to have lots of people out there that will, you might as well be watching a sitcom. Oh, they'll keep you entertained all day long. I'm not here to entertain anybody, least of all myself. You see, I'm looking forward to the day where I never have to do this again, where I never have to go on the air, because that will be the day that someone has clicked, and the one has awoken, and this paradigm shift changes in the twin cling of an eye. Yeah, you best get your masculine, feminine in order. Get your goddess, I-O, right? Hey, they told you in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. You know how we changed that from hi-ho to I-O, so off to work I go. Yeah, if you truly knew your I-O, your male, female singularity, the himself, herself, itself, you wouldn't have to worry about much. That's what we're looking for, boys and girls. We're looking for that resonant being, the one. You're listening right now. That I know. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, we're that close. So here we go. So those that cannot handle the truth and are unwilling to stand in it, I would urge you to stop listening now. It's your free will choice to be here. I accept that. It's my free will choice to be here as well and share this. So we have an agreement, you see. It's a spiritual contract between you and I. And the trouble with truth is this. I'm going to read the essay because it's in here. It'll be a lot clearer once I read this. Now, mind you, this is it's not very long yet. I've got lots more to write. I just had to get out and about, so I will pick it up after the show where I left off earlier this afternoon, or this morning rather. So here it is, Raining Cats and Dogs, Part 3 by Kate of Gaia. Okay. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Thus is the end result of destroying one's ego. Once the ego program is shattered with learned truths and choices, there is nothing the system can do to put it back together. Only the ego can be manipulated where the true you cannot. Is it any wonder that those wishing to keep the programs running attack so viciously those that dare to awaken? My own position, although not an easy one to endure, is a position I must hold at all costs. The denial of truth is the acceptance of ego program rulership once again. It really is quite that simple. Only in the denial of a truth, learned, can an ego program take root again, and, as in nature, once something takes root, it grows. The most valuable food to an ego is fear, and why the system uses its only trick to keep that program running. This is not about denying one's fears either. In this illusion, fear is made to appear very real. From the physical standpoint, it is something that needs to be confronted, not retreated from. In my own journey, fear has played a major role in the shaping of who and what I am today, with some minor fear issues still being confronted in my own version of baby steps. I am no different than anyone else in this regard. I merely have my own shadows to deal with, where you have yours. The Humpty rhyme is just another example of little allegories staring us in the face, and only with new eyes and perspectives can we even begin to start seeing them. This reality is based on fixations to keep people spellbound on all three levels of mind, body, and spirit. I'd say they're doing a grand job in that effort, no? The proofs are everywhere to satiate any rational mind, even one controlled by the tricky little bastard called ego. The letter E as a prefix means no, so it's pretty clear to me that if one has ego, one has no-go power. The ego is a lustful and greedy little bastard too, and that is the main focus of the stock markets. All one has to do is look at what they sell, and it's pretty clear. Stocks and bonds. Stocks were not a good thing to find yourself in medieval times, especially when the crowds had rotten tomatoes to throw at you, and being bonded means you're glued to something. Thus, the birth certificate bond, which has proven to be a sticky versus tricky little bastard, and needs to be peeled off in trinity form, also known as mind, body, and spirit. If we remain in one- and two-dimensional thinking, we'll never get 3D on this level, and most people are fixated on mind and body only, where spirit is not a concept that the masses can truly grasp. Sure, many will speak of spirit and get ethereal on occasion, but until they realize that they are not the name they think they are, they will never see this level. Seriously, can anyone even think of setting their spirit, their true self, free if they're still quagmired in the mind and body illusion? The straw man, tin man, and cowardly lion are the allegories of mind, body, and spirit, and the last thing to conquer before you can be Dorothy, the door of Theos, door of God, in toto genere, full character, is your fear. To an infinite being, fear is the grandest illusion of them all. I'd love for someone to explain to me exactly what an infinite immortal consciousness has to fear from anything. Fear is the only thing that can offer you a sense of actually living, and why it must be experienced at all. It comes in infinite forms and quantities depending on what you need to experience. Fear is only there to be overcome, and that, for me, is the truest test of all, and the only challenge in existence we have. One must not loathe fear nor love it. Merely find the 0 point within self where it is balanced and where you can baby step from. That's why pilots begin to learn to fly in a small single-engine aircraft versus sitting behind the stick of a jumbo jet with 500 passengers. It is about what responsibility one can handle that masters all fears. In seeking the truth, you have accepted a greater responsibility in creation, and, of course, fear walks lockstep with responsibility. If one seeks a higher meaning of truth, then one must also accept the responsibility of what that knowledge offers. It would be pointless to say one is seeking the truths of this reality, find them, then just as quickly deny them, because there is some fear attached to it. Here's the catch-22, however, in that you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. By attaining a higher understanding and stepping into it, you become a blip on the spiritual radar where you have entered no man's land or the neutral zone. I like to use the Rubicon allegory here inasmuch as once you've chosen to cross the Rubicon River, you are making it clear that you are marching on Rome with no turning back. The very notion of turning back is repulsive to me, but then I made my choice a little more absolute than most could stomach. The good news is they don't have to, but it must be made abundantly clear that once you find a truth and realize the ramifications of that knowledge, one now has the responsibility to stand in that knowledge at all costs, or succumb to the ego and retreats. I already mentioned the catch-22, so if you can't handle the heat, stop seeking the fires. If you seek to save yourself, and only you can where the truth will set you free, there's a greater responsibility to be accepted. If you feel you can't handle the responsibilities of being truly free by seeking the truth, stop reading and listening now. Return to the lazy boy and TV, This is not a game for the faint of heart or gimme-gimmes. The higher roads come with a more dangerous path, but the view is magnificent. You can remain as the one tin soldier of the valley making war with the mountain folk, or you can continue the trek up. The choice is one of free will, and is one that must be made. Sit on the wall beside Humpty, and well, you know what happens there. And it won't be the ego that gets shattered. It will be your spirit. To be continued. So there it is in a nutshell. And we're talking and walking the tough ground now. There's an obligation to truth. Inasmuch as you seek the truth, which will give you more of your energy and power back to create, to become more cause over the world around you, there are illusions that you have to sacrifice. This is where you become Indiana Jones at the chasm, and you must step out. If you haven't already, you must. Because if you don't, stop listening, turn around, and go back to the existence that you obviously choose. I assure you, you will have to repeat this game until you get the level right. It's the trouble with physical existence, and why we choose these games at all, and that's all they are, is games. There's a great deal of responsibility with each level, and we choose how much we want to learn. And it's very easy for the beings that we are after each lifetime, because we have in our awareness everything that we've done. As soon as we edit this program, we have everything that we've ever learned up to that point available to us yet again. Now imagine that and saying, okay, well, here's the next game, the next level, the next experience. And of course you get all cocky again and say, well, yeah, I know everything, and oh, this is great, and of course I can handle that. You know, it's outlined for you, and you know, you see it for yourself. It's all, hey, that's what creation is. It's about having experience. To experience our infinite God mode self, who is very bored and just likes to play a game. Trouble is, though, when you come into these games, you have to drink from the allegorical cup of forgetfulness in order to have a game at all. It wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. You came in here and had all your God powers, and you know, you take over the world, but it wouldn't be much of a takeover, right? There's no challenge in it. It might be fun for maybe a century or two, but you'll get bored. Promise. I don't even think it'll take it that long. And that's what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with a game. The never-ending story. This is an infinite journey of self. I think it's pretty cool, actually. So the fears that you have, the things that you cling to in the physical reality, are those things that you're most afraid of losing. The game of lack and loss, for only here can you experience it. Only here can an immortal infinite consciousness, you, be so dumbed down into thinking you're just a meat stick. But you have to be in order to experience it. All the clues are there, if you can find them. I don't know where your clues are, what your breadcrumbs are, that's yours. I had mine, I found mine. Well, a good portion of them, still many more to find. But they're getting easier to find. I'm picking up lots and lots and lots of pieces every day. Where in the past, you know, say 10 years ago, I might get a piece of the puzzle, my own puzzle, once a week or so. Little epiphanies. Now, mind you, I'm probably being way too conservative on that, because I've spent much of my life, from a very young age, seeking knowledge of all kinds. Had a lust for history and literature. Still do. Isn't it funny how it factored into the game I'm playing right now and what I'm trying to share with all of you? And it's not that I'm trying to scare anyone away from the table. It's just, when you discover a truth and you cannot stand in it, okay, one, I'm not your savior, all right? I just share information. I'm not telling you or teaching you anything. These are things you already know. And that is proven very easily when you get a resonation of truth. You know, there's no such thing as the truth, just truth. It comes in many forms, infinite. But I assure you, truth is what truth is. No external versions or versions, verily truth shuns, allowed. What's your version of the story, they say? Well, sorry, I can only tell you what is true to me. I cannot make a claim as to what someone else perceived, but I will tell you, based on my experience and the gunshot wound to the shoulder, that someone, in fact, did shoot me, and I saw who it was, okay? Getting a little dramatic there, but you know what I'm saying. It's like when I wrote Summons of the Dead. It doesn't matter to me who decided to help themselves to so much of my stuff. The simple fact is that someone did, because it's no longer in my existence. Right? One day it's there, house rated. Next day, or a month and a half, 2, 3 months later, it's not. Imagine that. I find it kind of humorous that somehow a complete set of scuba gear and tanks somehow went missing, along with Sue's Olympic class, you know, $2,500 racing bike. Oh yeah, I can tell you that's exactly what she's mostly pissed at me about. You know, lots of other things I'm sure, but I think there's a lot more of the mirror going on there than she'd like to admit to, and that's okay. I just observe, look at it and go, uh-huh. Really? Seriously? Okay. Well, whatever. That's cool. That's your reality. You can have it. I'm not here to judge. You know, I'm just here to observe, and what I observed is not what your version is. I can only say what I've experienced. I can only be honest with myself. And you know when you're bullshitting yourself. You know when you're doing that. Guaranteed. No excuses on that one. Okay? There's going to be a little bit more in terms of allegory with regards to Humpty Dumpty when I'm finished this essay. There is a lot more to it. I'm going to show all 3 levels of Humpty in the mind, body, and spirit. Someone had asked me, I think it was this morning, was it with regards to, here's some resonant truth for everybody. Oh, let me see if I can find it. Anyway, this individual had a nickname Bambi, and not the one that we know as Ninja Bambi, but just a coincidence. And they wanted to rewatch the movie and asked if there was anything that they should keep their eyes out for. And the only thing I could come back with was, well, of course, yeah, you're going to see lots in Bambi. Oh my God. Oh my me, get it? Oh my me, O-M-M? Yeah, okay, good. Just a coincidence, it's just a fluke that happened. It's all flukes, guys, all luck, don't worry about it. It's just mind-boggling luck, right? But here's the thing about Disney, and it's a beautiful portrayal if, you know, you could see it. And when I explain this to you, you will see it. You can't miss it once you get told, look there, see that? Oh yeah. Well, one of the things about Disney movies is there was this, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for here. There was a preponderance to sacrificing the mother at the beginning of movies or stories, whatever the story was. You know, like Bambi. You know, Bambi's mom got taken out by a hunter. Let's go to Finding Nemo and what happened to Nemo's mom, and he was the only one out of all the eggs that the barracuda didn't eat. Ate mom and the rest of the kids, but he was the only one, and of course dad, very protective. Great story in Finding Nemo. And the endings are always the same. We always find our way back home, because we have to. That's the game. We're on a journey, an infinite journey home. And we'll find our little ports of call between lives, whatever the case may be. Other movies, Snow White, the wicked stepmother, right? Cinderella, another wicked stepmother. Have a look down the list and you'll see how many mother roles are killed. Like even in Pinocchio, you don't see it, but there's Geppetto by himself. And the divine representation is Cleo the cat. That's the divine feminine. Right? And what did Pinocchio want to be? He wanted to be a real live boy. Real live meat stick, actually. It's probably the better way to put it. And there's another one, because you have the conscience known as Jesus Christ. No, wait, JC. Sorry, it was Jiminy Cricket. Different JC. Let your conscience be your guide. That's just a fluke that they call them Jiminy Cricket. All right, so look away. There's nothing to see here. And by now, anyone that's been listening for any length of time and partaking in our little chats around this table are starting to see more and more, aren't you? You're starting to go, ooh, a lot more. And it's not ooh and ah at the fear porn and the rest of the shit that goes on in this crazy place. No, now you're looking beyond the veil. You've stepped through. And now you're looking for the wizard because the veil's down. And the wizard's getting easier and easier to spot. Well, the true wizard is you. Right? You're the one that's been veiled. It's not anything external. Remember, you know me, right? The two-spirit, walking a life backwards. Mirror was broken. I put everything in the mirror 180 degrees to the other side of the looking glass. It's the only way you're going to see it. I mean, you can look at everything here literally and see everything the way we've seen it our entire indoctrinated lives. Being part of the system, part of the program, part of, tradition, family, society, community, politics, religion, you name it, we've done it all. Oh man, we've run the gauntlet. Especially those of you, and myself, all of us, that have known, if not our entire lives, but most of our lives, that we had something very important that we had to do here. That we had different eyes when we came here. Well, yeah, of course, before any real good invasion of love, you got to send in the stormtroopers. And the reinforcements are showing up every single day. I think they call them indigo children. Factual proof that we are cracking the codes of this matrix to allow other parts of ourself to come in a more pure state. And as a net result of that pure state, of breaking down these barriers, creating the resistance to allow that kind of vibration in. And here's the thing about high vibration is once you get to a vibration, all you have to do is hold on. Because the thing about a truth is once you know it, you can't let it go. It's like if you put it into the allegory of a video game, or the analogy comparison there of a video game that has, let's say, 20 levels, 30, 40, 50, doesn't matter, it's irrelevant. They're infinite levels, but let's put it to, say, 30 levels. Level 1's the easiest, and level 30, has the big bad monster at the end that you have to defeat, or the hardest character in the game to defeat. And right now, boys and girls, we're sitting around this table, and we're in the 30th level. Oh, there are many here that are still at the first level. They're still trying to find their feet. Typically you'll find them driving around in cop cars and tanks and shit. Very, very low consciousness, low consideration for life, because they don't understand the value of it yet. They haven't lost a human body enough times to get it. Oh, well, they will. That's the nature of this game. That which you sow, you shall reap. And you can only be measured by your good deeds or your evil ones. Wow, who makes that choice? Well, I was just following orders, but your heart told you differently, stupid. Guess you shouldn't have followed that order. Guess you should have known, because there's the trouble with truth. When you know that going off somewhere to slaughter innocent people is wrong, and you do it, well, you're still doing it. By omission or commission, you are guilty of a crime, whether you're ignorant of it or knowing of it. And upon finding the truth, you have the greater responsibility to turn around and say, I'm not going to do that. Sorry, asshole. Can't do it. No can do. But therein lies the ego, and especially when you're dealing with, let's say the first 5 levels of experience in this game. You're dealing with individuals that are, well, if I can't quit the military because I can't, cops, I lose my, you see, it's all material. They're easy to spot. They're the materialistic ones. It's like I've said it many times. I mean, you perfect allegory of cops chasing a car. Dogs chase cars, right? And my intuitive tells me this as well. This hit me today during a conversation. I thought, well, it's Raining Cats and Dogs is the name of this little essay series. And isn't it interesting that there are 2 kinds of animals that we humans have as pets, cats and dogs. Again, cats, the allegory for the divine feminine, dogs, the allegory for the divine masculine. But let me share a little something with you. Right? Might clarify a few slang terms, like pussy and the rest of it, okay? Oh yeah, we talk straight up here. On this one, we don't screw around, sorry. But my intuitive told me today that the pets that we have closest to us are the ones that are ready to enter into the human form. And what they're doing is they're gathering experience around humans to see what humans do. So that might explain why some people that show up here are angry and fearful and what have you, because they just left the last animal experience they're going to have as a dog that got beaten badly. But they graduated, they made it to human form. And hopefully they can maintain that. Same with cats, dogs. It's raining cats and dogs, right? Ruling raining, not water kind. Just a little intuitive that hit me today. And it sort of makes sense because, what do cops do? Well, they chase cars. What do dogs do? Well, they chase cars. And the Illuminati, as we all know, only, I think it was Kissinger came right out and said it. The military and cops, they're just our dogs. Male or female, doesn't matter. Right? Well, there's male dogs and female dogs and male cats and female cats. Right? There's a duality in everything. Right? There's a good and evil, divine feminine, and there's a good and evil, divine masculine. And the only thing that shifts from one or the other is your perspective. So there's your H, how you bridge it. H is the joined twins. Right? You got the bridge, which you'll find on your face too, around your nose, just above your heart. It's time to start bridging our realities, connecting heart and mind. That's why it's a bridge in your nose. The nose is connected to heart. So what's it bridging to? Oh, let me see. Oh yeah, it would have to be based on the angle. It'd be right to the pineal. Would make sense, or the hypothalamus. Right? Guess I'd have to do a cross-section of that just to see. But anyway, just an intuitive. So when we're dealing with truth, there's a great responsibility, because if you don't stand in it, you get to wear the mirror of it. Because here's the thing about universe and the pendulum that swings back and forth. That's the ebb and flow, law of correspondence. When you find a truth, you're at the 0 point. When you deny it, it swings one way, or the other, depending. And it will keep going wider and wider and wider, and then it will come back and smack you. What goes around comes around. Denial of truth comes around to say, hey, you know this. Why aren't you standing in it? Smack. And at that moment of something screwing up, that's the universe keeping you on track. Don't look at it as a negative, and don't look at it as a positive either. It's both. It's positively showing you the way to go, that you've mastered a truth, and negatively, because you didn't stand in it, it smacked you to remind you. It's a universe bitch slap. I just got tired of getting cuffed upside the head by the universe. I kind of like being invisible, untouchable, immutable. It's funny because I'm mutable as a Gemini. Yeah. I think that's kind of neat. Mirror, mirror. So the easiest and best clue that I can give anyone to start looking at this place, and I've said it thousands, and I mean that literally, thousands of times. Look at something and reverse it. Let's go through the word reverse again. Show a little word cracking to start listening. Bust it up, start playing with it. Reverse. Well, for me, that it's got, every letter has a meaning, but here's the three words that I saw, the Trinity within it. Re, which is sun or light of God, you. Ver, from verily, meaning truth. And, of course, se, from Latin, se. I think you might see it as special edition or second edition. It's there everywhere. You ever see that in the car? Computer program? Windows, 98 SE? Means himself, herself, itself. So re, ver, se is you, the light of your own light of creative God in creation. You are creator. A little spark of the old spark. Standing in truth to find the Trinity of self. The himself, herself, itself. There's your divine triangle. Okay? So the only way to get out of here is to go 180 degrees, just like Alice did when she was trying to get to the Queen of Hearts. And the Queen of Hearts used to say this a lot, off with their head. Right? The allegory is very simple there. It sounds so violent, like all the guillotines that they're saying that they've got. They're just trying to tell you zombies, you walking dead, what's really going on. You got to cut yourself free of the ego, the mind, and get into the heart. If you want to find the heart, the Queen of Hearts, you've got to start reversing. It is mind-boggling how much this just connects up every single time. There are no mistakes, I promise you. I'm looking and I can't find them. That's all I've done in my life. Look, what's wrong with me? Looking for the mistakes, looking for the, I've got, and here's the joy of that. You don't have any vested interest in being right. You don't care. Because if you're trying to make yourself wrong, one, you're trashing the ego into little pieces. Humpty got kicked off my wall a long time ago. Yes, little bits and pieces showed up, and still do. It's a handy thing. Call it Fido now. Sarah is a three-headed dog, and it's in a cage beside me, and I bring it out whenever, any raw meat ego shows up. Well, it's got to eat, too. Don't want to starve it. I mean, there's got to be some fun for the ego. I just don't let it rule me. I put it on the leash instead of it having me on the leash. Big difference. Yeah. Interesting times we live in. Well, time's an illusion. We talked about that before. And these are definitely concepts that we will be revisiting until they click. But rest assured this, guys, if you're going to if you're going to seek knowledge, you are also seeking equally responsibility and control. Because the more knowledge you have, the more responsibility you must adopt. They walk lockstep, guys. Right? Because now you're cause. You're not at effect as much as you were. You're shifting that pendulum back. And if you know something to be true and you choose not to stand in it, well, that's your own damn fault. That's a catch-22. The damned if you do and damned if you don't. If you stand in the truth, physical realm gets a bit messy. If you don't stand in the truth, the spiritual one gets messy. And both of them are going to smack you upside the head until you figure this out. That's what catch-22 means. Isn't it interesting that the Masonic like to refer to the number 11 and the number 22 as what? I think numerology does as well. They're called master numbers. Or numbers. Oh, but Kate, I've never made the B soft before. Yeah. Oh, it's just a coincidence. Nothing to see there. Nothing to make you numb. No. So there we have Ma. There's the M, the as above to the W as below. The mirror, right? Ma from matter, alma mater, physical matter, Magdalene, Marie, Mares, mares, mayors, magnetic. Got it? It's divine feminine. And of course, it's confirmed with stir, the divine feminine creative spiritual essence. Put it all together, what have you got? Well, that's why things are referred to master and slay there. Oh, I never put an R on the end of that before, Kate. Well, you just did. Slay, V-E, right? Again, root of verily. So if you are a slave, you are a slayer of the truth. And if you are a master, you stand in the truth of your truest creative ability. And the only way to get from slaying the truth to creating, which is truth, is to stand in it, for crying out loud. Okay, that's Indiana Jones making that step to go across the chasm. Can't see a damn thing. And I tell you, he held his breath before he took the step, didn't he? He didn't know what was coming. But only when he made that step to go out far enough to see what was really going on past the veil, past the illusion, where everything meshed into everything. Very reminiscent of the chalk artists, you know, the sidewalk chalk artists that draw huge chasms, that when you're standing at a certain angle, it looks like the road is opened up and there's lava and, you know, hydrants exploding and, you know, someone standing on this little island of rock in the middle of the magma. That's what was being painted in that Indiana Jones movie, the last one. But when he stepped out, he found solid ground. That's a leap of faith. That's standing in the truth. And the only way you're going to find your holy grail, that's you, by the way. You are the holy grail. It's not a cup. That's a symbol of what it is, an allegory. You are the vessel. That's why in old times, they called them drinking vessels. And you are chock full of truth. Your vessel is loaded with truth. Blood, ether, water. You know, they're not too heady, these subjects and these concepts. They were certainly well hidden from view. And you'll find that as you start to click more and more on these concepts, more and more will open up to you. And that's why I'm sharing this with everyone. I do not wish harm upon anyone. That is my free will choice. That is not something I would do. So I'm placing the responsibility, the respawns to give life ability, to you equally. You see, because when that happens, no pedestals are allowed. When something screws up in my life, it's not your fault, it's mine. I made the choices. Every choice I made brought me to this point in my existence. On my journey, my thread. Every single choice I made brought me right here, right now, talking with you. Just as every choice you made in your life and existence, since the inception of this game, brought you here, to this table. No coincidences. You are here for a reason, as am I. And the only question we need to ask ourselves is, why? Well, you're tired. Well, I'll speak for me. Right? This perspective of you. It's boring. It's stupid. There's no real creation going on here. It's just a lot of the same old shit, right? Let's dig holes in the ground, get metal, and build something with it. And then, of course, it hits landfill site, and and it rots there, and you know, where's the creation in that? I mean, this game here is about as low as you can get in this universe. That's why you're here. It's the toughest level. And right now, in this toughest level, you're sitting at the last level of the game. And the only thing that's going to get you to move forward is a choice. But here's the thing. All the things that we picked up from level 1 all the way up to here, everything we gained to achieve that level of awareness or awakening, whatever we want to call it. I avoid the New Age bullshit like the plague that it is. But once you pick up a new piece of armor and a new, I'll use it as an analogy, because people grasp it. You pick up a couple of really cool weapons, truth weapons, right? We'll call it Excaliburs, right? Swords of truth, and of course armor. And then you get past the first level bad guy, whatever that is for you. And then you move to the second level. But the thing is, you get to take all the things that you gained in the first level to go in and start the next level with. So you're actually stronger starting the next level, which is going to be a little bit harder. Of course it's going to be harder because you want the challenge. And then you pick up other bits and pieces, and all of a sudden you start, getting more armor, truth, right? And more ability to push back and destroy evil, if you will. Up to the point where we are now, and every tool and every piece of armor and every Excalibur that you've picked up that got stronger and stronger every level is yours right now to wield. Yet the fear still grips most. Oh, I know, kid, I know I have to do this, but find something that's not quite so scary and keep moving towards it, because the minute you stall, you are vulnerable. So find any fear that you have that you need to overcome. Something that you know is absolute nonsense, but you will. You have to overcome it. You're not going to move forward until you do. And by overcoming that fear is being able to look at it and go, yeah, that's fear. Cool. Oh, that's what it feels like. Okay, great. Okay, well, I got that one, so I'm going to put the fear there. I know you're there. It's all good. I'm going to leave you sitting right there. And thank you. I needed that because I've got one fear that's slightly more than you. So you gave me at least a sense of what it feels like, and I'm going to take a couple of days, and I'm going to, meditate on this and feel good with it and make it my own. There's one of your power-ups, right? And then as soon as I feel ready, I'm going to go after the next fear. And most people just stop after they've accomplished a couple of fear levels. They think, oh, this is great. It's like, fear the first day of school. Well, for good reason. Oh no, we're going to get indoctrinated. And we knew that too. That's why some of us kicked our kindergarten teacher in the shit. At least I did anyway. Shared that story a while back. Boy, I got a whipping for that one. But anyway, yeah, it's all good. It's all good. All things for a reason. Now I can look back at it and go, yeah, that was a good one. Better not do that anymore, And not because it was beaten or whatever. It's just because, well, yeah, that wasn't a very nice thing to do. That's what happens when Cain gets a hold of Abel, chokes the bitch to death every time. Yeah, so if you're clinging to the illusions here, if you think there's something or someone going to save you in the material world, please stop listening. Go back to sleep. There's a lazy boy with your name on it somewhere. And they got lots of Diet Coke and Doritos and beer and all the rest of this shit in the Babylon that you're part of. Turn the TV back on. Because we're in the last level, guys. And there is no turning back. All of you listening and sitting there right now have crossed the Rubicon. For the analogy, for those that don't know, historically, there was an army always camped on the other side of the Rubicon to protect Rome. But the army could never enter Rome. If the army ever did, of course Rome would fall. And it was a sure sign that there was an uprising and that there was no going back. Once you committed your army to crossing the Rubicon, you marched on Rome. there was no going back. You see, there's a joke that kind of covers this as well. And I'll use the Irish because that's what I am, and I love Irish jokes. So there's a couple of Irishmen standing at the coast, and they decide that they're going to swim to North America. So they commit to each other, and they'll be swimming together, and they get about 3/4 of the way across. And Michael turns to Patrick and says, "Patrick, I'm tired, I can't go any further." He says, "All right, Michael, let's turn around and we'll swim back home then." Right. It'd be kind of stupid to turn back at that point, wouldn't it? I mean, you've already got 3/4 of the way across. Too late to turn back now. I think I wrote a song with those lines in it. Just a coincidence. Yeah, just a coincidence. Some crazy ass shit, eh, guys? I'll tell you what, we're at the top of the hour, so I'm gonna play a tune. And of course, I love to invite everybody in, so please, if oh, Kishy's gone. Night Kate, or Night Kishy. He said bye, Kate. That's what I was reading. All right, so we'll play a tune and illusions. When will people wake up? Anyway, it's too late to turn back now. So I guess, you know what? I think that's the universe picking that song. I haven't heard it in a little while, so I'm going to see what new words come out of it from the old words that were written in 19... When did I write that? I think I wrote that 1985, 1986. Yeah, so that one's been around for a while. And every time I hear it, there's always something new in it. So let's play that one, and we'll see what it's all about. All right, so we'll be right back.
You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now it's our turn.
Too late
think I pretty much sums it up. It was interesting listening to the words of that again, and how many more layers are that were in there that certainly weren't in my reality at the time I wrote it. I wrote that in 1994, I think. No, that was 85. I recorded that in 94. That was with my group, Athen Rye. Interesting that in and of itself. Athens, Greece, you know, catcher of the rye and how all that stuff pulled together. But Athen Rye, symbolically, is that was the place where the Irish prisoners would be put on a ship to head to Botany Bay, Australia, where they'd never, you know, for the hideous crime of stealing a loaf of bread or, you know, stealing a potato or two to dare feed their starving families out of absolute desperation. And what they got was a life sentence in a penal colony. How about that? Yeah, they've been dicking us a long time, guys. I'm telling you. Well, guess what? We're going to give them such a void, they'll never feel it again, so we'll lose the full desire. Get it? Yeah. Yeah. A thought came to mind there. I'll keep that one to myself. It was a funny one, but not really suitable for tonight. Another night. Anyway, yeah, there was, let me see, where is it? I'm gonna have a look here. Oh, excellent. I'll get you in the call in a sec. One sec. Now, if you are reading something literal, you're reading it wrong. I hate to tell you that. While there's an indicator in it, a very minor one with regards to what's really going on. If you look at the allegories of any given story or news item that you get, look for the real meaning behind what it's saying on a worldwide scale, because everything we do matters in the universe, butterflies. You flap your wings and the whole universe changes. That's how it works. Anyway, we got us a caller here. If you want to get in the call, please just hit 1 on your keypad and jump in, and I'd love to hear from you, and let's bounce some fun stuff across this table and see what kind of ping pong game we can come up with. How are you doing? You're on the air, your mic's hot. Area code 407. Hello. I can feel you trying. Might have walked away from the phone. Area code 407. I think I'll just leave. Oh, I can hear somebody's Skype going off. Who's area code 407? Well, you put your hand up. I figured you wanted to say something.
There's an indicator in it. A very minor one with regards to what's really going on.
Oh, okay. You're going to have to...
any given story or news item that you get.
Okay, we're hearing back the show here.
Find what it's saying on a worldwide scale, because everything we do matters in the
All right, I'll mute that out for now. Area code 407. You're going to have to turn the computer off that you're listening to, so that we don't get the feedback here in the show, 10, 15 seconds ago coming back around. All right, so if you could, I'll give you a second to turn your computer off or turn the sound down or something, and we'll bring you into the call. You're actually in the show when you join here. So, are you there?
I can feel you trying.
See? I'll wait for it.
Phone? Area code 407?
Yeah?
Okay. I can hear somebody's Skype going on.
All right. Okay. Please, if you put your hand up and want to come into the call, be there. Thanks. Okay. I'll try again shortly. Anybody else? Put your hand up. Hit 1 on the dial pad to jump in, and or on Skype, just open your dial pad up, hit 1, and that'll bring you in as well. At least I'll know that you want to be in the call. was wondering, Vanessa, you had something you wanted to say the other night. Do you want to maybe pop on for a sec? Because, well, here, I'll open your mic up. If you just want to say hi, that's fine. Where are we here? There we go. Vanessa, how are you? I'm not having any luck tonight, guys.
It's all right.
There you are. There you are.
Yep, I'm here. I just had to okay, that's not me.
No, you just had to unmute. No, you're fine. Everything's good. There's no echo or anything.
Oh, okay. All right, that's cool.
So how's you?
I wanted to. Things are good. I wanted to come on the other night because I really wanted to see what Santos had to say about that weird trine that's in my.
Oh yes.
My horoscope, but that's okay. That's okay.
All right. Well,
he's a busy guy, right? But yeah. I'm tuned in just about every night, and I'll tell you, there are nights when I get so frustrated, and there's other nights when I get blown away. I can't remember who said it the other night. Doesn't matter what you do, you always maintain true to the purity.
Yeah, absolutely.
The purity of it, and I find that's absolutely phenomenal because I try to pick it apart and it just don't work. You just blow me away.
Well, it's not me. That's truth, right? That's the trick of finding it, right?
Yeah. But you have such a wonderful gift of being able to take these words and break them down so people can see.
And you know what happens? It's really cool because everybody can do this. This is the really neat thing. Everybody can download, and the only thing that's stopping the downloads is too much garbage on your RAM, too many distractions, and too many false, idols still locked in there. Belief systems, call it what you will. As soon as you get rid of that baggage, your RAM's free and clear, and the universe will fill it up with all sorts of new goodies, and that's the only difference. I mean, it's the only thing I can think of and feel out as to why. I got to tell you, and I say this with the utmost humility. There are times I'm just, sitting writing, and I blow. Well, songs I've done it so many times. It's like I've blown myself away with, oh my God, I don't believe I just wrote that, or oh my God, I don't believe I just said that. That's what's going to start happening to you guys, and you better start looking at it as a beautiful creation because that's what you are. You're a beautiful creator.
Oh, by the way, I don't think anybody does Alex Jones as well as you do.
Oh, I haven't done it in a while, eh? You're the resistance to fear porn.
There you go. Don't hurt your throat, though.
Nah, it's okay. Yeah. I'm okay tonight. I didn't do a whole lot of talking today.
I just love it when you do that. Because I used to listen to him a lot. Because I think he had a lot to say, and there's a lot he had to expose. But
me too.
Ever since that difference that you and Tony had, I've seen kind of things with a new perspective. That, like you've tried to explain to us, the fear porn is just if you concentrate on it, it's just going to make it that much more inevitable, so to speak. Yeah.
You're flowing energy at it, and
so I'm learning to curb that energy, and to try to direct it in other directions.
Yeah, and here's one other thing too, and I come across this a lot. Perhaps you can throw a word or two in on this one. The ego loves to jump in and program, right? Loves to jump in. Like I tell someone, well, they ask me, would you drive with a license? I say, no, I have no contracts with the Crown. Why would I do something stupid like that? And they go, well, what about? And they go, and all this manifesting of. You can see the cruiser surrounding them and all the rest of it. I'm thinking, please don't mock that up in my universe. So when you get that urge to mock up something of a negative nature in the physical realm, bite your tongue.
Yeah. Did you ever read a book called The Four Agreements?
No, I've heard of it though.
I can't remember. I looked for it the other day because I wanted to read there's 4 lines. Basically, it's being impeccable with your word is one of them, which really harkens back to a lot of what you're saying. That you have to be careful what you are saying. You know?
Exactly.
It's phenomenal what is built into the language that we've never really seen before.
You know the joy of this, though, Vanessa, is the fact that with you just telling me that, tells me this, that you get it. You know the spells are in there, and now they're powerless. So now you can speak freely because your intent is 180 degrees. From being spellbound, now you're being the spellcaster. Cool, eh?
Yeah. I'm not absolutely. Well, yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry. You can't argue with the truth of yourself.
Yeah,
Go
but
ahead.
I don't have the kind of confidence you have in the truth.
Well,
I think that you have to grow with that.
Yeah, it takes a little practice, and again, hey, listen, I'm in this. This is all I do, right? So I
look up and I still see chemtrails, and I try to just kind of send different thoughts. Yeah.
Just laugh at it.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything but laugh.
Yeah.
I mean, the ancient Hawaiians. Seriously, you see something on TV that's mayhem and this and that, just laugh at it. I'm not kidding. It's all illusion. But what about what makes you think those are actually real?
Yeah, there's so much of it that I'm not even sure even exists anymore.
Right. I mean, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was going to say there was a beautiful picture, and it showed 3 different versions of the same picture. One of them, the Arabic version of it, showed a guy holding a gun to someone's head while a U.S. soldier is giving him water. On the CNN one, you don't see the gun. It's cut off there, right? You just see the American soldier helping this, likely an Iraqi or whatever soldier. So they, again, what are you looking at? And I guarantee you, if you're looking at the meat stick media at all, you are being dazzled. You're being sold the sizzle while someone else eats the steak.
Oh, I know. I watch. Well, you see, in my house here, we got somebody who is a cartoon freak. I mean, if it's a cartoon, he'll watch it, and you can
love cartoons.
And I used to discover all these things, and I would try to make him listen to what I had to say, and he would turn around and go, "Well, I just watched such and such a movie," and he would explain it to me in terms of the movie, or the Simpsons, or the Family Guy, the terms from there, and it would just blow me away. And he'd say, "Look, see, I don't have to watch what you're watching because
it's all there." Everything.
Yeah, exactly. So it is pretty amazing.
Everything is in everything, and that's why I tell people. I mean, Zoe, when she's been on many times, her thing is movies and videos, like music videos. Me, music videos a little. I love movies and cartoons. Because those are things that really resonate with me, and some people it could be even the Bible, same thing. I mean, these are things that I can look at and go, ha 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 ha, I see it, and not get confused by a literal translation of it. This is the thing. You have new eyes to see, new ears to hear, and it just takes a little practice. And I don't want anyone getting hard on themselves. Like, well, I can't. No. This
it's a gradual process.
Yeah. Baby steps.
And then all of a sudden, one day, there is a switch that trips though. There's a switch that trips, and all of a sudden you go, "Oh wow, holy cow!" And then you start more and more and more and more and more to see it.
Do you want to know how to trip that switch? Everyone can trip the switch.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how. It's really easy. Oh, it's actually simple. It's not easy. It's actually going to be one of the most difficult things you will ever do. Because this is the moment you cross the Rubicon. And I remember my moment very clearly. It's when I said to myself, I cannot do this anymore. I have had enough. I cannot buy the lies, the bullshit, and be a part of it any longer. That's when I made my deal with the universe. It was 3.5 years ago. I remember it vividly. I was and I said, I'm all in. And the only way I'm going to find all the truth I'm looking for is to be all in. Don't expect to win, the ante that's sitting on the table until you have enough to go all in, and everybody else folds. Then the table is yours. That's your moment. That you have to trip that switch. You have to decide you've had enough and you cannot live like this any longer. You have to put your feet down and you have to say, I'm done here. My line is in the sand. It's drawn. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And that's it's in as much as it's a challenge to the universe, it's a challenge to self and a challenge to those forces opposing that choice. You enter the game at the real level at that point. And you have, I need everyone to hear this loud and clear, you have everything you need to do that. Everything. You will astonish yourself. You will be amazed at what the universe does for you to put you in positions to set you up. I mean, hey, I'm a catalyst. I make reactions happen. That's my biggest role here. I'm a messenger. I plant seeds everywhere I go. Whether they get watered and germinate, that's entirely up to the one receiving the seeds. Beyond that, and I've said it many times, I don't care. Sink or swim, it's up to you. You want rescue? Well, show me that you're actually making the effort. And I'll come out and give you a hand, but I'm certainly not going to drag your sorry ass to shore because you're just going to drag me down. You're going to slow me down. And there's others in the water that are truly wanting to get to shore. And I will not be distracted any longer by the gimme-gimmes, by the coat-tailors, by the oh save me, all the rest of the shit that goes along with it. And I've met many of those in my life, and they have dragged me down. I got to tell you, when I unpacked that camel, it wasn't that long ago, maybe a week or two ago, when it finally sunk in. After 49 years, you think I might have got it by then, right? But that was my final key.
I got a few more years on you.
It's all good.
It's funny. I want to say one last thing, and then I'm going to let you go. You talk about scuba diving.
Yeah.
If I ever get a chance, man, I'm diving with you. Okay. I love to dive. It's it's one of the few things that I could do even with the arthritis. It was amazing.
Oh yeah, you're weightless. You're weightless.
Oh, not only that, the pressure keeps the tissues compressed, and you don't feel the pain as much. It's awesome.
Isn't that cool? How many dives you got?
I've only actually done about about 6 dives altogether. But
okay,
and that was quite some time. It was like 10 years ago. But I loved it.
Was that resort diving?
I did a couple. Well, we did one where we dove with the manatee. Obviously, I've got my ticket because I got it at. I don't know if you knew the guys that used to run out of Guelph, Royal City, I guess it was. No, Royal City. They
were PADI.
The guys
certified.
who ran out of Barber Glass there.
Yeah, they were PADI certifiers. I'm with IDEA.
Yeah, I was certified way back then. I'd actually done a few dives a long time ago with my ex. I love it. I absolutely love it. I've dove with my kids, and I'm the same as you. Once I get below that 10-foot mark, I fight like crazy to get beyond about 10, 12 feet, and then I'm like a fish in the water. My air lasts forever.
You're a sipper. I like diving with sippers because I've dove with too many guzzlers.
Oh no. I just cruise. It's just beautiful. It's one of the best experiences of my lifetime.
Well, I guarantee you, I'll be the best dive buddy you'll ever have. My nickname in diving and my dive tag is Spooky.
Cool.
I got that from every time I turn around, you're exactly where I need you to be, and oh my God, how do you do that? It's like you know what I'm thinking.
I'll just tell you one thing. We dove down in Belize, and I'm pretty sure that's where it happened. My son and I dove together, and when we came up, he was running out of air, so I called him over towards me, and we shared a little bit, right? I gave him the other regulator, and we diddled around some more because he ran out of air way long before I did.
How deep were you?
60, 65, 70 feet, maybe.
Ooh, bad trainer for your. Was your son?
Yeah.
Yeah, the trainer. That was bad training. That's not bad diving.
Well, he was just breathing it up that fast, right? So the two of us, we went around for a little bit, and we watched our gauges and everything, and we came back up again, and everything was fine. We did our safety stops and all that stuff, but we did go out of the dive area.
Okay.
And when we did go out of the dive area, my logic is, hey, I'm in the middle of the ocean. I come up, I'm going to see the boat, right? So I didn't really worry, but we came up around the sharks, and I didn't see them, but my son did, and they were right below us, and never.
Oh, they wouldn't come.
It was wonderful. It was wonderful. We had a great time.
I don't know why people are so afraid of sharks. I mean, there's
yeah,
what's that?
I do want to do a shark dive.
Oh,
I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, they're beautiful, graceful creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah, and typically the waters the waters I've dove in down Belize you won't find much. You get there's no man-eaters per se. You get the occasional great white. They had one off Cancun. Very rare that they come because the waters are too warm for them.
Well, I've dove in, let's see, Belize, Cozumel, Florida. I did, and then of course up here in Canada a couple of times. Went up to Tobermory and stuff.
Cold water diving, I hate it.
Cold water.
Yeah, my deepest cold water, and I did it in a 4 mil suit, was just to see what it felt like. Was 150 cold water, and oh yeah, it was freaking cold. You're down sitting around 34, 35, and of course you hit the thermals, right?
Yeah.
And and that's the thing too. I've done some cave diving as well, but
I haven't done any of that. I never really got that far. You have to have money to go down there and do that.
Yeah,
money
I know.
And time,
there was a time that I could take my week and go down to Mexico and hang out at Cozumel and head over to the mainland and dive the cenotes and.
That's just awesome.
Yeah, I've got just under 300 dives.
Wow.
So, rescue
awesome.
diver. Yeah. So
yep.
People said, well, why didn't you get your dive master and instructor? Well, why would I do that?
You dive too much. You like to dive too much.
Yeah, I mean, you go to dive master, now you got to get insurance to take care of everybody else around you. I said, no thanks.
Exactly.
No, I'll stick at rescue too. I'm good there. And of course I'm proficient. And I've done all the things that I needed to do, and I'm good. And then besides, it's that whole weightless thing, and deepest warm water dive is 212 feet. That was what we called the breakfast dive. You had to be picked to go on that one.
I think my Cozumel dive was the deepest. It was like we probably hit 70 at one point. That's about it.
You exceeded you exceeded your open water limit. Love it. Yeah.
Oh, but it was beautiful, beautiful.
Absolutely. For those, here's a little scuba update for everybody. For those that don't know, when you go in to be trained, I've trained many. When you're going to be trained, you go and get your open water dive certificate, which allows you to dive to 60 feet. That's your maximum depth. And then you go back for more training. It's called the advanced, and then that takes you to the max dive limit of 130 feet, recreational limit. You go beyond 130 feet, you're on your own, and you better be well versed in getting narked. I think I've mentioned before in the air when I know when narking is coming on, because I'm like I start getting really concerned about people around me, going, well, what about? I know what that is.
Get paranoid.
Yeah, you either get giggly or you get paranoid, and I'm the paranoid one, right? You just start getting overly motherly, right, with everything around you, and think, oh, have I got enough air? Have I got this? Oh, shut up! Just dive, stupid. That's narking out, right?
Yeah, I think that's the thing is you got to have the ability to enjoy the dive, because it's just. To me, it was absolutely marvelous. It was the most. I hate snorkeling.
Snorkeling is so much work.
And I always choke, regardless of whether I get all the water out or not. I always choke. So just give me the mask. Give me the regulator.
Give me the mask. Give me a tank. Let me get deep.
Yeah, exactly.
And, for those that ever think about doing it, most of the beautiful stuff unless you're like somewhere like Cozumel, the reefs that you dive on around the island. I've dove pretty much all of them. Are sitting around 80 feet, but some of the best diving that you will ever do in your life is in the 30 to 40 foot range. And if you are a tank sipper, you can. Well, I can sit at 30 feet and get about an hour and 20, hour and a half out of my tank.
That wouldn't surprise me. I could probably do the same thing, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I just breathe. I'm just so relaxed.
That's exactly. You just kind of get in the zone. Then you have these other guys that are, and the next thing you know, is 3,000 pounds of air is gone in 15 minutes. So I had a few like that I had to train too. They weren't fun.
Well, my kids took after their father, and their father was really, really high anxiety kind of guy. So they had a tendency to use their air a little faster unless they were diving with Mom. And then when they were diving with Mom, they were good because he was horrible.
I love it. Now,
he was absolutely horrible.
Now, here's the allegory of what we were just talking about. You see, what Vanessa and I have done is shown you a universal allegory of bathing yourself in the waters of truth. Symbolically, water is truth. And getting calm about it and going deep. And knowing that you have the ability to sustain yourself regardless of how deep you go to find the truth. And you will always do your safety stops on the way back, just to be sure.
That's funny because I want to add to the allegory. For me, that first 10 to 12 feet is like Panic City, trying to get down, trying to get past that buoyancy, to crack that buoyancy level.
Yeah, you just need an extra weight. You weren't wearing enough weight.
But once I hit 12 feet, I'm on my way down again. It was beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
But that was, those first steps were the hardest. That first.
Well, back at my place, when I first got it, there was a pool in the backyard. I filled it in, right, because branches kind of punched holes through the liner, and I said, screw that, and I just filled it in. But one of the things I used to do all the time for just zoning, I'd throw my my skinny jacket on and my BC and reg and tank, and just go sit. I sit at the bottom.
At the bottom of the pool.
I just sit there, and of course
awesome.
It's only 6 feet in the deep end, so you only got about 3 feet of water above you when you're sitting there. But it's just that whole
solitude.
It's totally quiet. Well, actually, it's very noisy when you're diving because of the air bubbles and all the rest of it. But there's no extraneous outside interference. My cell phone doesn't go off. I used to tell people, you know why I love diving? Because my cell phone doesn't ring at 120 feet. I can't answer it, right? And we used to do crazy shit, right? Take a beer down and drink it at 100 feet, shit like that. And take a couple of chocolate bars down with you and just munch on those while you're diving. I'm not kidding. This is the kind of shit we used to pull.
Wow.
You're sightseeing and take the chocolate bar out and munching away and get your reg in and oh yeah. And here's the rule too, guys, and this happened a lot in Mexico, especially the guys and girls I dove with. They like their diving, and of course the rules are don't be getting drunk or anything the night before because you'll only dehydrate, and when you're breathing off an air tank you're dehydrating yourself even more. It's because it's pure dry air, not oxygen like some people think. If you put pure oxygen in a tank, you go down to 19. Well, no, you kill yourself. At 19.8 feet, 100% oxygen under pressure, where you're at 19.8 feet, oxygen becomes toxic. It will kill you. Right? So it's air, guys. It's just air. Unless you want to get into specialty diving, nitrox and the rest of it, you can go deeper, helium and all the rest of that stuff. But I just stuck to the basics, recreation, and get out and have a great time. We used to do all sorts of stuff. Oh, I was going to say about the drinking stuff. Some of the guys used to drink a lot more than they should the night before, and of course they're hangover for the dive boats in the morning. But you paid for the boats and you're only there for a week or two. Some of them came for 2, but you didn't want to waste any days diving. So regardless if you felt like a piece of shit or not, you got on the boat, and we had a few of the guys that you're down 60, 70, 80 feet. Next thing you know is you just see it looks like an octopus inking, right, coming out of the rag, all the puke. Rule is, do not take your rag out to puke. It will go out through the sides. right? Because if you take your rag out and you puke, your reflex is to breathe in. And the last thing you want is a mouthful and a lung full of seawater, because then I got to drag your sorry ass up and give you CPR, right? So, anyway, there, some fun. There you go, guys. See, the lighter side of life.
Yeah.
These are the
anyway,
things I like.
I'm going to let you go. Let somebody else get a word in edgewise. And
all right. Well, that was great chatting about diving. Thank you so much. A beautiful energy on that. Thank you.
Okay. Listen, you're doing a wonderful job. Keep it up.
So are you.
I try to listen every night, but sometimes the house fills up with insane people, and I just can't get at it. But,
well, that's okay. Here's the good news, Vanessa, before you go. Whether you're tuned into the show or not, this is getting uploaded to the consciousness anyway, because I know the power of voice. I invoice the universe with this. So whatever goes into the universe is yours, and you will pick it up. If it's a resonant truth, you'll have a thought, oh, hey, I never thought of that. That's what it'll be. So pay attention to those moments, too, because that is the Akashic getting uploaded with, we're downloading from the Akashic and turning it around and throwing it right back up so that all can have it, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. Thank you so much, love. Great chatting.
Okay. Yeah. You'll have to come over for a visit when you get a chance.
Oh, yeah. What's the number where you're at? Just the number on the... I know where you are, actually. I took a drive down, but...
Yeah, the guys were there working on it. I came home that Friday afternoon, and there was all this stuff in my driveway, and they were fixing the bridge or the culvert and stuff over by the pond. So
okay.
And you just happened to be there when they had collected. There was the truck.
Well, the truck was there, and they were dumping and whatever, so I just turned around.
And it was ridiculous, yeah.
So what was the number?
1.
Okay, I'll remember that for next time, because I know where you are now. So next time I'm down there, I'll text you ahead.
You could probably could see my place. It's the blue place.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yep. Well, that's it.
Okay, I was there. Okay. I know where you are now.
Yep.
Perfect, love. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a great night, and somebody else call her up and have a talk with her.
Well, I got
awesome.
I'm gonna open up 407 again to see if they're ready. Area code 407.
I'm muting out.
All right, hon. Thank you so much. Area code 407. Are you there?
Hey, Kate, you there?
There you are. How are you?
It's Pulsar, man. How you doing? Yeah,
good,
I called in earlier, but my roommates, they had the stereo blasting so loud, so I had to call in now again. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
So good to hear your voice. Oh, I'm good. I brought little goodies to the round table tonight.
Oh, what you got?
Well, it's called Pulsar's Green Eagle Manifesto, an oxymoron production.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay, here it goes. A journey into the fractal philosophy through wisdom and understanding, bringing people together in the spirit of magical and musical dance to co-create a new paradigm that preserves dynamic quality. The eternal dictated by the attractor. The principal truth recognized by the community of oxymorons or unaware people is that the journey from out of chaos is a long-suffering one that requires the utmost concentration and consistency of focus. Awareness of the prevailing forces and currents is an indispensable tool for the actualization of full human potential. Attractors breed order and consistency, but only the strange attractor liberates consciousness from matter and thereby allows spontaneous acts of wisdom and folly. When attempting to raise an unaware person up to the level of a consciously aware person, it is imperative that the many layers of static nonsense are removed to reveal the underlying dynamic structure of chaos. Only through direct experience of the Tao, or the Way, can wisdom be transmitted and received. Besides, static patterns of understanding can more readily be instilled and understood when the old ones have been sacrificed upon the altar of dynamic reality. Intellectual persuasion is not possible, nor is it desirable, I may be able to defeat your arguments, but I can never convince you of experiential truth unless you lead yourself to the experience itself. You can lead an unaware person to water, but you can't shove the pebble down their fucking throat. That's it.
That works for me. Yeah, another to add on to that with regards to leading a horse to water. Right. You can lead a horse to water all day long, but you can actually drown it trying to make it drink when it's not even aware that it's thirsty, and it will die of thirst. Okay, so let it. And when you mentioned about the suffering and what have you, can you imagine? Look where we are right now. Can you imagine how many lifetimes and how much we have suffered to get here? Are you ready? Right? Are you ready to throw that away, everybody?
Not at all. That's why I'm talking to you, bro.
Yeah,
in the home stretch.
This is the home stretch, and the baby steps are a little bit bigger than you're probably comfortable with. I'm sure Indiana Jones wasn't comfortable stepping out into a chasm that looked like it was 1,000 feet deep either.
Oh, I know, right?
Right. So there's your allegory. So, guys, now's the time. Now is it always was and always will be the time. Think back to how many times you've probably been, burned at the stake, crucified, beheaded, run through with a sword, poisoned, strangled, throat cut. Yeah. Raped as a child.
True that, but don't you always ever think to yourself that why does everyone think that we always keep getting recycled back here? Couldn't it be another planet or another?
This one for me is the tough league. This is the game of games here. Right?
That's what my Sufi friend told me that. He said
only the best.
Earth, yeah. Go ahead.
Only the best and the brightest get a chance to play this game.
Right. Yeah, my Sufi friend said, the Earth is like the ultimate training ground for everything, and if you can get through this sand pit, you can conquer anything. You don't even have to conquer anything. You're just in the light.
Yeah,
in the silent center of light. Just be.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, as well, it's about, I've asked this question of everyone. If every thought that you have manifests, which it does, and you were suddenly given the power, the ultimate power of creation in the now with every thought you manifest, are you ready for that? Can you take responsibility for the things that you will create and destroy and create mayhem and everything else? I know I'm not ready for it, but I'm ready for the next level. I'm ready to move up into, Harry Potter kindergarten, where I can fly.
Yeah, we all want to go to the exalted, all the way up to the exalted, and maybe we will, like people like Santos, you, and all that and all. But it's like you said, baby steps, little by little, increments.
Well, yeah, that's why, and tonight was about handing the responsibility to all of you. And me.
Right.
I accept the responsibility of it. And look what it gave me. Woo! Yeah, lots of fun. But I tell you, it gave me a road through where I can actually help people. For anyone that has anything legal, if they're still playing in that silly little game, all you need is the I who shall not be named. Throw that in, put your own names on it. It's a template. Throw your own names on it, make it yours. Read the long and short of it, Invocation of the Cross, and I who shall not be named. And if you get the concept in there, you're turning the tables over in their temple. I mean, Jesus, that was a good allegory. Okay, so we have to turn the tables. How do we do that? And it's easy. Well, the intent to commit fraud and deception was done, since before it began, ab initio, right?
Oh, of course.
Absolutely. The whole idea of asking someone to register a child means that, and they do it willfully in ignorance, and, there is responsibility of that's no defense of it, so you kind of have to take responsibility for yourself at this point. But it doesn't change the fact
that's the thing. It's like, we get our names from our parents, and that's good. But then they steal it and then make it their own property.
No, they didn't steal it. No, they didn't steal it.
Not steal it, but
Mom and Dad gave it away.
I know. Yeah, gave it away. Right.
Right, and that's a hard thing for people to accept. Oh, no, I didn't. Yeah, you did, actually, and, sorry, suck it up.
Yeah.
I did. I did it with my own kids. I got them back and, whatever. But, oh, yeah, absolutely. So I just chose to say, no, I don't wish to claim a name that is certainly not me and doesn't belong to me. It's Crown copyright. Why would I do that? I'd be committing fraud. Unless you want to aid and abet me into fraud. No, they don't want to talk to people like me. So seriously, if you get a parking ticket or whatever, throw in a I who shall not be named along with it and see what happens.
Right.
I mean, it's not like, you're not going to do 30 years for not paying a parking ticket. For Christ's sake. Well, hell, I went out and deliberately got parking tickets so I could play.
Right.
I saw some neat stuff going on around that. This is way back in the day, right? But I deliberately went out of my way to get parking tickets. So I could play. Right? And it was fun playing with Toronto. Because I'll tell you, when I went back to renew the plates, I was still in the game at the time, renew the plates, the girl behind the counter looking at the computer screen went, oh, I've never seen that before, that's odd.
Right.
And I looked at her and I said, well, what's odd? Well, there's something outstanding, but it's kind of in a place where I've never seen it before. It's kind of not part of the page here, but it is. And I said, don't worry about it. If it's making
you really are a champion, though. All the stuff that I've heard that you've been throughout life, and then now, and coming to this apex point, and it's just like, wow, this. I'm just learning from you. It's like, God, he's really bulldozed through all the bullshit and didn't succumb to suicide or anything like that.
Well, I did say I was a bitch, right?
Yeah.
I just live up to it. That's all. I am a pain in the ass, my friend.
Well, the truth hurts, but it only hurts to certain people. And even the word hurt is in the word truth. If you looked at the word truth. Yeah.
Well, and of course you got the
T. It doesn't hurt
there.
me, though. Right.
Hurt T, which is T is a note of love. That's unconditional, right?
Right.
And of course we don't go out of our way to willfully harm people because we've graduated beyond that. There are people here that love to willfully harm others. And then steal from them and all the rest of it. Up to the point of killing them and raping them and all the rest of it. That's some degraded level of shit,
Oh, yeah.
We're dealing with beings that are so far down, and we have to be grateful to, because without that, we don't have the contrast of knowing how beautiful good is.
Yeah, that's I hear what you're saying, but I always get, when I hear the word cycles, you could also pronounce it as sickle. It's sick. It's like this. I mean, to be down in this sand pit.
Sick L, absolutely.
Yeah, this is hell. I mean, right? You got animals eating each other, people eating animals, and all. I mean, to me, that's hell. And wars and stuff. It's like, why did it have? It's just a big why to me. Why did it have to be implemented into this structure of the Matrix?
Do you know why you asked that question? Do you know why you ask why? Because you already know why. It's not something you would do. You've learned the lesson.
Okay.
Well done. And that's what we're dealing with now, are people that are not willing to be a part of it anymore. And then, of course, you have those that are still asleep. Oh, thank you. Those that are still asleep, still caught in the Whore of Babylon commerce game, still caught in the religiocosis children program.
I know.
Right?
But
so
see, I'm a Cancerian spine, so I'm very sensitive, and I just see all my friends and my parents just totally stuck to that television all day long, and I mean, I can't relate. They're zombies. I can't relate to them anymore. Literally, I can't.
So don't even think about trying. Walk away. You're here to learn to let go, my friend. I'm talking letting go of the things that you thought mattered the most to you. And they do. Yeah. But
you're right.
You see, the more you love and care about those closest to you, the harder it is for you to escape.
Yeah. That's too much emotion, and they're going to be the way they are anyway, and I'm just going to end up putting myself through all kinds of emotion.
Yeah, and the universe is going to kick your, well, I said it earlier, you're going to get a universal bitch slap because you're stepping all over the free will choice, throwing ice on someone that doesn't want to wake up.
You don't even know how much I've been getting bitch slapped, dude.
Yeah, well, can I just suggest you stop then?
I will.
Okay. No, it works. It really does. You'll have some peace of mind finally, and then you'll look at it and go, It's not that you love them any less. Of course not. It's unconditional. You love them enough to let them sink or swim.
Right.
See?
Yeah,
here's me.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say the rescue diver. This was my biggest lesson. I've spent most of my life rescuing others, helping others. People, someone's in trouble. Tell Kate, and Kate's there. and what I'm actually doing in the process of the unconditional love saying, of course I'll do that. I'll help. That's why I love doing that. But I also, when I do that, I'm also taking away that being's ability to fall flat in their fucking face like they're supposed to, and where they get the universal bitch slap because of their own choices.
Right. Right.
You know, oh, come rescue me, Kate. Come rescue me. Yeah, of course I would. That was my and that was my mirror.
That's your calling. That was your.
And every single time I look back at everything, I got a piece of cutlery in my back.
Oh yeah, people stabbing you in the back.
Yeah. Right. And some do it right out in the open, and some do it silently.
Right.
You know, so big lesson, and that was, and I know that was mine. That was the one. That was the one to get me into that deeper state of unconditional love, where it's okay. You know, you see a 5-year-old or say a 2-year-old going over to the socket with a fork, you know, and to put the fork in the wall. You know, the first reaction is, "Oh, don't do that." But I'll tell you, they're going to learn very quickly to not ever do it again. So let nature happen. I mean, if it's a situation where there's a kid going off a balcony or whatever, okay, you know. But I'm just saying these are little things that, and it's an allegory, it's an analogy, okay. Of course, we're gonna don't do that. But what we're doing is we're offsetting the potential of that child, or doesn't matter what age, adult, of learning that lesson. You know, so you have to let your family take the fork and stick it in the 220-volt socket, and they'll learn. It's not your job.
It's not my job at this point. I've done all I can for so many years.
Yeah, Savior, I know. Time. Me too. I had the Savior program running. I was pretending to be it.
Yeah. Can only save yourself.
Exactly.
But yeah, I had a talk with Mary Rainbow, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Mary. She's awesome.
Of course. Yeah, she's so awesome. Yeah, she's been away for a while doing gardening, I guess, and stuff. But she did my chart, and first thing she said to me, she's like, "Ooh, this chart's like a couple of the big dogs around here, like Santos and Gaia." And you know, because I have my Leo rising in the first.
Oh, you have
house.
Leo ascendant.
Yep. And I got but what really tripped her out is, because she has it too, is she has her Aries in the first house, like in the first deacon. I have that too, and Santa's always says, "Watch it, keep away from those people if they're gonna go in a temper fit."
Oh yeah, well, Aries in the first house, absolutely, yeah.
Well, you
know how to fix it then, right?
Yes, it's through meditation and doing all those. Right.
When you know when you know thyself and it resonates and you click on it, you kind of go, oh, well, I'm going to do this because it's in my design. So now I know how to not do this because it's in my design.
Right.
It's like you said you're Cancer, right?
Right.
Okay, so you're here's your lesson. I'm going to give it to you. You want it?
Cancerian tiger. I'm a tiger.
No.
A green, a wood tiger. You're a wood dragon. I'm a wood tiger.
There you go.
Anyway, go.
Okay, here's your life lesson for you. It's right in your sign. What is the motto of Cancer? I feel.
I feel, caring, nurturing.
No, just it says I feel. Stop making it more complicated. I'm trying to simplify it for you. Okay, so what's your lesson to learn?
To learn from that.
The mirror.
And
put the mirror.
Yeah, the mirror and balance it out.
Hang on. No. Turn the tricky little bastard off for a sec, Aries head.
All right.
Seriously. And by the way, we've got 90 seconds. Hold on a sec. Big thanks to criticalmassradio.co.uk, Paul, Giovanni, Lisa, all the Critical Mass, for allowing us to sit at this beautiful table. And of course, we all need your help to keep us where we are. So take a trip over to criticalmassradio.co.uk if you can offer us some support. I support cmr.wordpress.com. 3 ways to do it. Getting the word out to everybody.
Right on.
Putting out good intent. If you have a donate button, it will keep on the air. Getting What's the mirror of I feel?
You're breaking up a bit. Okay.
Oh, okay. What's the mirror of I feel? What's its opposite?
I don't feel.
I feel not.
Yeah, I feel not. Right.
Did that explain anything to you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like me, Gemini, right? I think, therefore I think not. And that was my big lesson.
Speaking of that, yeah, that's why Mary's Rainbow said that our charts are so similar. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. She said our charts are so similar because my Venus is in Gemini and my Moon is in Gemini.
And there you go.
And we have pretty similar charts. I was like, whoa.
No, it's good. Learn thyself. Know thyself. The clues are there. You came in with the design, and we had to have something to work with when we're here. We come in totally stupid and forgetting everything. We can leave all the clues we can, and the biggest clue we have is in the universal fractal of the as above to our so below. Pay attention to it, and look at the good parts of your chart. Those are the things you've got good at, and also look at the negative aspects, because those are the things you need to work on. And put everything.
I've just begun. I got so much information written down. I've had a project that I had going for Santos that he asked me specifically to get out about numerology. But my parent, I don't want to get into all that, but my mom almost died twice, and I had to be there for them. They were there for me when I was a kid, so.
Well, yeah, again.
It's an excusable excuse. But,
let me just share this with you. I've been there. Okay? So don't stress it. All right?
Because I just got, Gemini, I got so much information, that's another thing. I have no earth element in my chart. No Virgo, no Cap. I have none. I'm all right-brained. Flighty's
yeah, I can tell. There's a lot of chaos going on.
I know. Thank you for telling me the truth.
I'm just telling you what I'm observing. It's like I see your design. It's beautiful. And I tell that to everybody. I said, I wish you could see your design, how beautiful it is. And what the hell is this?
Well, everybody that's looked at my chart, like that your chart's kind of similar, they always told me, well, if I can balance this, I can be a master teacher, no problem, easy, point blank, boom. So I'm just in the midst of getting everything organized, all the information, and, because I've been going through moving from this place to that place. So, but, there's Randy Powell?
That name rings a bell, yes?
Yeah, Marco Rodden.
Oh, yeah, Marco Rodden. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Marco Rodden. Randy Powell broke one of his codes. I think it's with the triad numbers, 147258369. But my Sufi teacher said, no, there's another secret to this. It comes to 4496.
Okay.
And I don't know. And then it has to do with creating this Triforce capacity driver to create, free energy for the world and
illusion.
And illusion. Yeah. I mean, I don't know about that, but I mean, from what I'm just going by the synchronicities, and it all hit.
Yeah. Well, look at the allegories again. Don't get caught up in the literal. This is what I'm trying to steer people away from. All right. Mm-hmm. What is trying to be shown in allegory form? And just one sec, I have a brand new contact that just actually tried to call me to get in the show. So, as I've said before, I won't be bringing people in regularly. This is a special case, so brand new, so I've got Dan in the board with me now. So just give me a sec. Let me get him hooked up. All right, so we got Dan on the board. If you can mute out. If you have any questions, Dan, just jump in. Welcome, and glad to have you in the contacts. I'll get you in the Love and Stuff room now as well, so you can talk with everybody else. Join the crew, and big table. There's about 350 people in the room. Yeah, don't try to send anything through the files, though. It won't go. I promise. But yeah, don't get caught up in the illusion, Pulsar. All right, you know, people start talking about, you know, free energy and all the rest of it. You are 0 point energy. This was the big debate I had with Tony. He was still stuck in the physical meat stick realm, you know, and I can't, you know, I'm definitely not. I don't partake in the illusion any longer. So, and we have Michael Cooley joining us as well. I can get.
Well, you know what's interesting? It's called the triad numbers. It's 147, 258, 369. And if you look, you know, with the astrotheology, 147 is
mute out, Michael. There you go. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
147 is cardinal. 258 is fixed. And 369 is mutable.
Yeah, there's only 9 numbers. So what? Yeah, but what are the numbers? There's only 9.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm just figuring it out little by little.
Yeah.
And
147 is 3, right?
Right. Comes out to 12, 3. Yeah, and then 258. That's 13, 2. It's 15, 6.
15, 6. It should be 369.
Yeah, 3. It is. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, I might know something about this.
You're pretty good, man. You're pretty damn good. Wow. But yeah, little by little, I'm trying to figure out this code, man. And once I do, I got to talk with Santos about it because.
Well, it's easy. It's 369.
I know that you're saying we are the energy, and we are the energies. But I'm just saying if it's something, you know, technologically, I don't know if this is my tricky bastard talking or what, but. You know, some in technology that could help the world and make things a lot more easier for people that are not up to that level, you know.
So why don't you just manifest it instead of thinking you have to build something? You are that source, right?
Right, I hear you.
This is the wall that Tony couldn't climb. You know, in all his brilliance, and And
you know, I love Tony, but I did notice he didn't say. Yeah.
No, it's all good. It's all good. No, he had his role to play, and he still does. And Ninja, thank you so much, love. Go get yourself some sleep. I know it's really late where you are. You're 6 hours ahead of me. That puts it at 3 a.m., and you didn't get a nap, so I'll catch you tomorrow. Much love to you, my dear. And thanks for being there, and thanks for the beautiful things you sent, and the card. It was beautiful, stunning.
Okay.
Aww.
Hey, Michael, how are you?
Good.
So what's on your mind, my friend?
Oh, you know, my mind's full of stuff.
Yeah, well, you're the most balanced Aries I know.
Well, thank you. It's hard for us to be balanced.
It is.
Yeah, just been kind of helping a friend out with his swimming pool over the weekend. That's why I've always been missing the first part of the show. Yeah, you know, doing like plumbing, installing the pumps, filters, everything but enjoying being in it.
I was going to say, yeah, and when it's all done, are you going to get a chance to splash around or what?
So maybe I have a pool here where I live, but it's you know, community pool.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's kind of a lime green colored now, you know, or at least it was. It's getting better. Not here, but it's a rental property he has. And you know how sometimes an hour job can turn into, you know,
all day,
3 or 4 or 5. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just been that.
Yeah. Sometimes a 2 or 3 hour job or an hour job can turn into a 2 or 3 day, and sometimes 2 or 3 weeks, depends on who you got working on it.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like what you do, right? I mean, it's like this stuff is you can either get it in 5 minutes, or it's maybe 5 days or 5 weeks,
or you might have to get chased by one more dog for you to wake up.
One more guy.
And you know, that's the thing, you know, guys, and I'm telling you, you don't stand in the truth and you know something, and you don't stand in it, you get to own the mirror.
Yeah.
Mirror on the wall.
Kate, every night I listen to you, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, he's talking to me, and I'm like, ah! Yeah. And I'm just like, and I did it.
Well, it is, in a way. It's resonating in your mind. It's flowing. That's a good sign.
Well, it means that we've clicked on something, you know, again. And I tell everybody this all the time. Don't take what I say and just believe it. Seriously, that's how we got trapped here.
Take the leap of faith.
Well, find if it resonates, and if it doesn't, find out why. And I'd like to know, because I'm putting concepts and ideas out that are downloads and mentals, and right. I am in midair on that leap of faith, like absolutely midair. So I mean, we do this together. This is not
together.
Exactly. Hang on a sec. Check this out. Oh, Kate's not the savior. No, I'm not. And I'll bitch slap you if you even think that. Okay? If you think that, then you better get your ass back to church and get programmed back into the game so you can still play at a relative, semblance of stupidity.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay?
Never go back.
Exactly. We got to the 3/4 point across the Atlantic heading to shore, and no, it's further to go back than it is to continue.
Yeah.
Do you ever break down the word? Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. I wanted to say hello. I don't know. Forget who you have on, Kate. I'm sorry.
Oh,
right.
Well, it's Pulsar that's here, and we had Vanessa on. We were talking diving earlier.
Pulsar, nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, I wanted to say hello to you. I didn't want to be rude and just talk and not say hello or anything, but the photon thing I was going to mention. I just didn't know whether you got a chance to see that latest one from Donahue, but it was I like how he put together that photon.
Yeah, I was talking about that last night. That's the quantum one?
Yep.
Yeah, it got posted in the room. Thank you. I think Nav John posted that. Yeah, again, it's trying to destroy a photon of light, and it reappears 3 feet away. You can't destroy consciousness, is what it's saying. You are that perfect. You are indestructible. How you choose to spend that consciousness, either as a rock or as a super being, that's your choice.
Yep. You have no choice, but you have chance and choice.
Well, again, it's 2 roads you can take, and there's still time to change the one you're on.
Right.
If you want to reach the stairway to heaven, it's just a coincidence it was in that song, of course. And just to make sure that the illusion is kept right in place. There's not a whole lot of guys I know who will be sitting talking on the air in a bikini. Okay? There you go. Call me he one more time and I'll come out through the phone and I'll bitch slap you. Oh. See, I'm perfect training to break that program. But I hear a guy's voice. Yeah, well, you should check out my, whatever. Okay. Look at the picture, stare at it and go, oh, yeah, that's a girl. Yeah, it is. Don't let the voice fool you. I am part of cracking your illusion. I'm just a clue. I've said that many times. Try to get in with the clue,
It requires your brain to think balanced.
Well, yeah, I find actually yesterday, first time in my life, I finally got my sister to accept the fact that I'm Kate. The other name was given away. It's not mine. I abhor it.
Right.
So please stop saying that, because it runs all sorts of negative energy through me, because it's poison to me. So I've taken that thing that was so precious, so beautiful as far as being called that or whatever, because it was a gift from Mom and Dad that was given away, but that beautiful blessing was the most cursed curse. Why would I want anything more to do with it? And it's, again, allegorical. It's not the fact that, it's got nothing to do with the fact that it's a boy name or anything. It's got nothing to do with that. It's got everything to do with what it represents symbolically as the trap. And if I cannot be adamant and absolutely, sorry, I'll pull out the 3-headed dog on this one every time. And it'll feed, I promise you. That's, and that takes a lot for me to pull that out, all right? Oh, yes, thank you. 312, Quantum Entanglement, The Messenger, Bill Donahue. Great.
Yeah, that was it, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great one. So I'm trying to break the spells. I'm trying to break the things that have had us trapped, myself included. When I speak third party. You all know that. When I speak to you, I speak to me at the same time. I take full responsibility of everything I claim outside of myself into myself, as within, so without, as without, so within. I take full responsibility.
It's not judgment.
No, it's not
judgment what you do. It's constructive observational advice. That's all you're doing.
It's observation. It's observation with 2 questions. The only 2 questions I ask. Is that something I would do? Is that something I would not do? That's it.
Just pointing out what the curse is, because all these challenges feel like curses. I mean, everything, just all the day-to-day stuff out here, it's like a fucking curse. It's like I need to dispel the damn curse. On this thing, on that thing, and this and that, and back to that, this,
Once you get neutral, once you find 0 point, and it's not hard to do, I know. I'm telling you from that position. It's really not hard. I said at the beginning of the show. Until you're ready to actually take that step, until you're ready, and I assure you, here's the mirror of until you're ready, you will never be ready until you do. Mm-hmm. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Catch 22. You want to be a master or a slaver?
Right. I think I've been doing good lately because with my roommates, they're all like super, ultra, extremely mutable in all the wackiest, craziest ways. But I just stay neutral, and they get jealous. One of them said, "I wish I were you. I wish I could just be like that and be neutral." And it's like they don't know how to do it. Everyone
what are their signs? Obviously, they must be air signs.
Oh, she's Capricorn, Aries.
They're not mutable.
Sagittarius.
No, that Sag is ground.
Well, yeah, but it's also what certain things they've picked in life to put into their bodies and all that.
Doesn't matter. The program's still there. The original program when they got here, the photon of light angel of the zodiac is still there. Figure out get their signs and just do a look at them, and you'll actually start to see how you can break through that.
Right.
You see, that's the joy of being mutable, right? Because what I can do then is I can not only be all over the place, but I can be fixed and I can be cardinal. That's the lesson, right? Because with Cancer, you're water, yes?
Right. Yep.
Okay, so emotions of water. So also it is is it fixed or it's a fixed sign, right? It's not. Taurus is fixed, mutable. Cancer is cardinal, right? So you got to learn to be more fixed and more mutable at the same time. That's where you bring all your other parts in. You see, people keep looking at the zodiac thinking that they're one sign. You're actually all 12.
And it's the whole disc. It's the disciples. We're disciples.
Well, it's the wheel of fortune, and
the wheel of the will. Yeah.
Okay, now I brought this up again today, and I brought this up when Santa was on as well. You see, what we're doing here is we're missing the one thing, and this is a big one, guys. You need to get this. Give me an unlucky number.
Supposed to be 13.
Right.
I was born on the 13th, so
it
can't be that unlucky.
No,
that can be.
Hang on. Pulsar, I need you to turn it off, okay? I'm trying to give you a download that'll actually sort this out. Okay?
Will do.
Just chill. Okay. Just chill for a sec, all right?
All right.
I've asked that people before. When I get going, just let me go for a sec, and then you'll know when I'm done.
All right.
Okay? All right. I'm trying to help.
You are.
13. The whole system has geared it towards being unlucky. Really? Okay, well, let's see. What's my rule when it comes to system? Whatever system says and does, I go 180 degrees from it. I go the other way. I reverse from the mirror. I go to the other side of the looking glass to see what the hell they're hiding. And I'll tell you what 13 is. There are 13 lunar cycles in a year, yeah? There's not 12 months or moons. There are 13. Ophiuchus. Okay.
Ophiuchus.
All right. Is the 13th warrior? See the movie? You might want to. It'll actually teach you a lot. How many
regenerator.
Members? Right. How many jurors are there in a court? There's always 12.
12, yeah.
And who's the 13th juror?
The clerk?
No.
Or the judge?
The accused.
Yeah.
You're being judged by a jury of your peers, equals. So here's the problem with courts and juries. The accused doesn't know this, so the accused doesn't say, "No, I don't agree with that." Now it's back to the back room. The 13th warrior is the accused, because if they truly are innocent, and they have I get into all sorts of semantics here, but I won't because it'll create literal illusions. But look at the allegory of it. How many disciples did Muhammad have?
Right.
He had 12. How many did Jesus have? 12. How many signs in the zodiac? 12. So there's only one thing missing. There's only one thing missing, and what is the all-seeing eye? 13.
Mm-hmm. Right
and
on.
what is the letter B? It's 13 joined. I tell you, and I really wish I could have people just travel around with me in the car, and I'll show you the now as it was pre-sent to me.
Yeah.
And I will melt your fucking mind.
Yeah.
Present.
Because it's all out there, right?
It's there.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
All over the place.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Everywhere.
I'm not kidding. I don't care what you look at. You turn on a cartoon, you take a walk down the street, you go to the store, you look at anything around you. Everything around you matters. Everything is right there for a reason. Right?
As a matter of fact.
Exactly. Now, who did I take? Here, I'll give you some of my allegories. What city is my house in? That someone else is using right now. It's in the city of Guelph. What's the royal family's real name? Guelph. Most people don't. No, don't get all nasty on me. Hang on, I'm gonna let's stay out of the literal because it'll get you a spin in it, I promise you.
Yeah.
What's his name? Albert, the husband of Queen Victoria, not the father of the children. That was Nathaniel Rothschild that bagged and tagged the Queen for all those bloodlines. That's why the Rothschilds are in power. But Albert came from the House of Guelph, right, which was near Hanover, and they decided the Guelph was too German sounding, so they went to Hanover because it sounded more English, right?
Is that Albert Pike?
No, Albert Guelph, the husband of Queen Victoria. Right, keep on.
I'm sorry. Okay.
That's okay. All right, so why was I living in Guelph? Well, because I had to be. I had to take down the Royals. That was my job. And of course,
just coincidence.
Oh, it
couldn't have been.
Not at all. Everything that I have experienced was for an absolute reason, and I can see it. All right, they call it the Royal City for a reason. I had to be at number 7 Dale Brook Place. Okay?
Because you're in everywhere and every place that you need to be at every given moment.
Can you see it? That's the only question you need to ask yourself. What do I need to see? I have eyes to see and ears to hear, universe. I put up my invoice to you now. Show me the way.
The way.
And watch the shit just pop into your universe, and you'll poop yourself, I promise. See, we have been so dumbed down and so degraded, we forgot that we have to trust ourselves first.
Yeah.
Right.
I think we're born cursed.
There is a response of the universe there.
Well, Gravity Falls, it says it, I think pretty much every episode you'll see it written somewhere. Trust no one.
Be right back. I got to turn something off.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm listening.
Yeah, no worries. So, trust no one. What that's saying is the only one you can trust is you. That's not to say that everyone's out to get you, not at all. What it's telling you very clearly in the layer beneath it that everyone's missing, trust no one, trust self.
Yep.
That's all it's saying.
That's it.
So, what do we got to learn to do? Well, we got to learn to have a little bit more faith in ourselves. We've had the shit, ethereally and physically and mentally beat out of us to get these lessons, to get these beautiful contrasts that we are taking with us. These are the things we take. These are things that are not a burden to the camel. These are the things that are hidden within the camel, so it will pass through the eye of the needle. The only thing that's external on the camel are the physical illusions and the baggage and all the, well, I have to save my mom, I have to save my dad, I have to save my friend, I have to do it. No, you don't. That's just baggage. You need to save your sorry ass, because only when you save your sorry ass does the game change. And look what they've done. They've got us running in circles, trying to save everybody. Prime example, talking to you right now.
Yeah. That's what my health provider said to me. He said, forget about it. Just save yourself. Their parents are too far gone. They're not going to budge.
Well, it's not up to you to save anybody, right?
Right.
Yes. The only one you can... Yeah, listen to all. Dan, you nailed it. Listen to all. Follow the one. You. Observe. Yep. Be the neutral observer. Don't get caught up in the drama. Don't get caught up in it. Yeah, it's very difficult, but these things are put there. The very, when you are the most compassionate, loving soul, you have got the toughest road out. I know. I walked it.
Yeah. Yep.
When you care, like even my ex at my brother-in-law's funeral last year, he came out to me, and I'd just seen glimpses of my daughters, and I haven't talked to them, either of them, in over a year. And she came out to me and says, "I know, you're just trying to do the best for everyone. I know that. So hang in there." You know?
Wow, you're strong, man. I don't even have any kids, and that must be just like, wow.
I love them that much that I will walk whatever road I have to make sure that this planet changes.
Mm-hmm.
That's unconditional. And it's not selfish because, you know, everyone else's kids are as important as mine. And I've explained that one many times. There's no point in having great kids and beautiful manners and all the rest of it if there's still conditioning elsewhere on this planet, which there is, it's loaded with it, that's going to get them, you know, put them in danger. We got to fix the whole car, right? We can't put Band-Aids on it, right? We can't stay focused. I told everyone, and I will say this again, the most divisive thing that you will find in this game is family. Because all those perceived bloodlines that are closest to you, it's irrelevant. But the illusion is that they're the closest to you because you're related or you've had kids and whatever. And what it does is it separates that unit from the rest of humanity.
That's so true. Oh my gosh.
Mirror, mirror.
I talk to my relatives, and it's like they're not even connected to me except by genetics or something. But they're not like me. They don't talk. No, like
they're independent consciousness. They got nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
You know, they are parts of consciousness that we interact with, and that's consciousness helping each other. But we get caught in that whole, you know.
Oh yeah, quagmire.
It's a quagmire. It's a program, and when you actually have to look at someone that you have this love for, like one of your own children, and you look at them and you got to look at the saying: if you love something, set it free. If it comes back, it's yours. If it doesn't, it never was. And everyone used that for romances and all the rest of the bullshit. It's a beautiful truism. You got to let go. We're here to learn how to let go of the illusion, and everyone is clinging like crazy to it. They got their claws dug into it. No, you got to let go.
Where do we go after the fact, Kate? Where do we go? That's like, I know you said you didn't want to do the cycle again for another however long, but what do you think happens to us? I mean, that's kind of like what I've been wondering about lately, is just where do we go? What happens?
I'll tell you, for me, what resonates for me, it's...
Emptiness didn't help me out with that.
Well, he took reincarnation out of the...
Well, whether it's reincarnation or not, it's irrelevant. What I look at, and that's not to make less of your statement, for me, reincarnation has come into it because we're infinite. There really is no such thing as reincarnation. It's just incarnation after incarnation, right? You don't change. The meat sticks and what have you, and depends on, who knows. For me, I'd love to have a world where, I don't have to worry about traveling in a car, where I can just either, mentally teleport a physical meat stick to where I want to be, or, I love flying. So wouldn't that be, put a couple of extra perks into the game so it's fun.
It'd be cool to be a bird.
You're a pilot as well? Fly planes?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I did lots of things to scare the shit out of me because I was terrified of me. Oh yeah. That's why I've learned, stage everything. Oh my God, I was such a scaredy cat. And still there are some things that I have to work through. Scaredy cat works, right? Don't be such a pussy. Oh, shut up.
Yeah, Dragon,
your
Leo,
mind just blows.
Gemini. Yeah.
Sorry. That's the problem when you pull the cork out of this download zone, a.k.a. my head or whatever you want to call it. It comes in floods.
I know when they're coming out because that's when I always shut up and it's like, oh, here we go. This is flowing.
Yeah. That's just the way it is. I just applied what I learned with songwriting. I didn't think about it, so I thought, you know what? If I stop thinking about shit, it's going to come to me like a song does, and holy shit.
Yeah, it like streams through you, like this consciousness of this streams is effortless. The effortless effort,
I learned how to listen to the whispers of the wind. That's all.
You can be anything you want, I guess.
Yep.
Down to it.
No guessing.
You just be everything.
Yep. You can be whatever. So, start creating in your mind. I think, being able to, levitate and fly to where I need to be and not have to worry about license plates and all the rest of the crap that goes on in the physical, meat stick game. And, shape shift, do whatever,
Right.
Well, of course, if we were able to physically jump around and go places and dimension-wise and stuff like that, I'm sure they'd find a way to tag that and register for that and permit. And
well, again,
don't have time travel permit.
Here's the thing, though. I'm not going to bring anything in this realm with me.
Yeah.
When you leave this behind, when you go to the next level, it's a new game. It's got nothing to do with this.
Right? 19th dimensional gods or something.
Well, whatever, I'm not in any hurry. I've only got infinity here, so that's all we have to play with, Sorry about that.
Kate, do you ever break down the word court?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like you got the C, and the O, and the O-U-R, which is hour. It's coward.
Well, okay. There's one layer.
Coward.
Or how about let's go French for a second here. What's cool en français?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Heart.
Right.
Right? Cool. T. Heart of love. And when you actually understand what's going on in there, absolutely, you got to put it in the mirror.
Right.
And court is the same word as church.
Yeah.
Where did we get earth from?
Well, heart.
Heart. Or ear, has the word ear in it.
Well, it has here, theos, T-H.
Right.
Or here, T, love.
Right.
The raw. Earth, heart.
I always wonder who decided to name it Earth. Like, who was the,
We did. This is our game. We build the grid. What we have to do is we build this really cool game, which we've done. It's infinitely in all directions, all multi-dimensions, and all the rest of it. We built it. And these are all different game levels that we made so that we can experience ourselves. Otherwise, we bored out of our noggin.
Right. Did you ever read the Urantia book? Or heard about it?
Yeah, I've heard about it. There's a lot of new age fucking garbage in there. And you got a lot of people. Well, it's another new age trap. There's a few truths in it, and then the rest of it for me is just tripe. I'm getting time.
That's what I got out of it. Exactly. Yeah.
And no harm, no foul to those that are worshippers of Urantia and all the rest of it. Yeah, there's some concepts in there that actually fly with me, and it's full of new age bullshit.
Yeah, they sprinkle a lot of stuff on it.
Of course they do. Well, look at CNN, and they'll give you 30% of the truth.
Yeah.
The rest.
That much.
Yeah. Well, no, you can see all the truth. If you ever want to watch TV properly, turn the sound off.
Yeah. My grandfather used to do that.
Yeah. Pictures do all the talking for you. I don't know what the issue is there. So. No, it works for me, right? So, and the thing is, people. I'm probably more guilty than the rest is of taking things too seriously. That's where I need. My quest has been to learn to lighten up as well, and I'm still working on it. And I got to tell you, I'm a hoot at a party.
Of course, following your sign.
It wouldn't be a party without you.
I know.
But that let me loose when I'm actually in play mode, and it's a different game. I'm in work mode when I do this stuff, and I still try to make it fun. If it ain't fun, I don't want to play.
Yeah, I heard you mention one time. You're like, "Gosh, can I just get back to the, just playing music with circle of friends and
Yeah, this is just a minor detour to solve the planet. Then I can go back to doing what I'm supposed to be doing. That's okay. I'm doing right now what I'm supposed to be doing. I was doing then what I was supposed to be doing. I was getting my training to how to bust words apart, how to read between the lines and write between the lines. I was getting a handle on stuff. This was all training. The diving, the flying, all of it was all training for what I'm doing right now.
Like Santos going through 20-plus years of Jehovah's Witness. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
But he learned something out of it. He learned how not to be.
Right.
Well, he learned how not to be, and he learned how to take the Bible and all the literal stuff he was saying, and start to rip it apart. You know?
Yeah.
10 years from now, all of us will be wherever the last 10 years or that 10 years took us to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and Santo came in on Friday night onto this table around us, and there is a lot of information that we have been sharing while he's been away for almost 6 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, so Santo came in blind on Friday night, and it's not a greater than less than, but I'm telling you, what we have been uncovering over the last few weeks, and that's why Santo is the only one I know that can take the zodiac and lay it out so I can show the mirror and the allegories in it, and with his knowledge, the thing is, astrotheology is still just a clue. It's not the answer.
Yeah.
The answer's within.
I agree.
Can you see the answer, or are you stuck in the game?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's what Religio Cosus does. You know, you think you have the answers because you found Jesus, or you found Muhammad, or whatever the hell you find. I didn't know they were lost. But anyway, just being honest, right?
Right.
So, but you're in an illusion and it's someone else's construct. Even astrotheology is still someone else's interpretation and construct. Look at what
they're just directionals to
exactly. They're clues. They're not answers. They're clues, right? You know, because I get pointed in, like a Leo ascendant, right? Better yet, I have a Virgo moon. Okay.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Well, that's Venus rules me. Everything that Santo uses to point to the ruling planet, all three of mine are Venus.
Wow.
I am ruled by love.
I know I have it somewhere in mine, I remember.
Obviously. Tough love, though.
Well, unconditional.
Yeah, unconditional.
Unconditional love is this, boys and girls. Slap. Got it? That's it. It's unconditional. It's equal and opposite. It has to be.
Right on.
And the best piece of advice, and I don't offer advice very often, but if there's one thing, if you guys really want to handle in this game, look at everything opposite.
You look at one side of something, think to yourself, what's on the other side?
If the sign says up, say down. Get in that reverse mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that coin analogy you gave about the coin. Yeah. I did that years ago. I said it's a quarter. The glass is not half full and half empty. It's both.
Yeah. See, duality says one or the other. Singularity says one and the other. You know, this is why breaking the words apart, I had to show that the words mean what you think they mean, plus the mirror opposite. That's how the courts have been playing it. That's the straw man game. Done. Finished. Had to find the heart. Tin Man's next. Okay?
Yeah.
And, of course, when you find the heart, when you start understanding it, you know, those people that are coming against you, and I had a few come against me, you know, armed thugs, right? I had a 300-pound boot on my throat and my wrist, damn near broke both.
Jeez.
Right? Okay? Wow. And I could still stand up and go, I love you. Okay? So
now
the Tin Man's
the real,
okay.
True, the true essence of Christianity, what you just said. You forgave them.
I didn't forgive them.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Well, I mean, you
I'm
didn't?
not forgiving. No, why would I forgive somebody? It means I judged them. It says, "Judge not, lest ye be judged," doesn't it?
Okay. I'm learning.
If I forgive you for something, I've judged you as having done something wrong. No, the guy was just doing what he was doing. He did. Here it is again. He's doing something that I would not do.
Yeah.
Gave me the contrast. That's the gift. Can you see the contrast?
Contrast. Yeah.
Right?
He's in the program.
Wow.
Yeah, he's in the program, and I certainly don't want to be part of that. So I look at it and go, "Whoo, thank you." You know, and meanwhile, he and his buddies are out Saturday night. I drink a beer. Yeah, you see what I did to that bitch? Yeah, fucking stepped on the road and fucking this and that. And guess what? You get to experience, Golden Rule Boy. You get to experience being a tranny with a 300-pound boot on your neck in one of your experiences. Lucky you. Woo! I grant your wish.
That's why you be careful what you do.
Careful what you wish for. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. That which you plant, that which you sow, so shall ye reap. Are you planting ragweed or orchards? That's it. Really, it's that simple. Now, these are so diametrically opposed to everything that we've been indoctrinated with, and this is why things are resonating with people so much, so fast, and so far. Because I'm offering the mirror that you weren't looking in. I'm showing that, am I not clue enough?
Clear enough.
You know, it's like everyone my whole life looked at me and said, oh, that's a boy. And they look at me now and they go, shit, you hid well. Yeah, I did. I'm a master at hiding. Don't ever play hide and seek with me. Because here's the gift of being terrified of yourself and hiding in your own little closet. You get to learn that closet inside out and backwards. You learn every nook and cranny, every corner, every paint strip, every peeling, everything else. So what does it make you? One hell of a sleuth. Because you know all the tricks. You know what someone will do to hide because you've learned it. You've lived it. That's why people can't hide from me. That's why people are afraid of me. I look right through them because I can see them.
It intimidates them big time. I mean,
well, of course it does, because not everybody's ready to say that they throw a few examples out. Not everyone's ready to say, well, I wear pantyhose when I feel like it, and you're not going to hear that from people that are ready to confront that. It's a big deal. So what? Who cares?
They think they can hide everything that they do until they die. See, they have that in-game mentality where it's like, oh, if I can just do this and I can get through this, and at some point I know I'll die, and then it'll be, I won't have to worry about anything after that because I'll be dead.
Yeah, the church.
Your way through the whole life.
Well, that's it, and the church has done a great job of showing people that, just come in a confession and, your sins will be forgiven and you can go back to banging the neighbor's wife next week. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, how convenient.
Well, in the end, when your physical being dies, you just get to climb the stairway up to, this nice little place where everything's great.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. When you don't confront it this lifetime, the only door out of here is revolving. It brings you right back. So when I tell people this, you better listen. This is fact. Okay? What you don't learn now and the truth you don't stand in right now is the truth you're going to have to stand in next pass.
Oh, that's scary.
At the same level or go up. I mean, if you want to, put hell into perspective. That's what I keep
telling my dad.
If you want to put hell into perspective, you're here.
Huh.
Any questions?
I pretty much summed that up.
You know the word barcode that's on everything, barcodes?
Yeah.
Did you ever break down that?
Yeah, British accredited registry code. It's all code here with these guys.
Yeah.
No, and then you can slice it and it's barcode.
When did they start that, Kate? Do you remember?
Yeah. Again, the bar? Oh, I don't know.
Remember when we started getting the barcodes on all the stuff, and
yeah, and what are they? They're just lines and numbers, right? Yeah. Don't get too caught up in worrying about busting stuff apart. I mean,
no, I was thinking that there was a time when it started. I mean, there was a time when we started slapping that on every product and everything.
Yeah, probably in the 70s.
In our lifetime, it was the 70s.
Yeah, I think it was in the 70s they started doing that. But look at it for what it is. Of course, everything in the crown has got to do with the bar, right? The bar, the bar association, the bar code, bar none.
It's another mind.
Put you behind, and they put you behind bars.
And bars. It's all bar. The bench. How can I get a copy of that Black Flawed dictionary?
Well, it's on caveofgaia.wordpress.com. Ninth edition, it's right there. Download it.
Right on. I want to get that. Yeah.
All right. Bar. What was the other one I just came up with? Oh yeah, you really want to barter? All commerce, guys. Just and I know you can probably imagine how frustrated I get saying the same shit over and over.
Because you're seeing things on a big wide spectrum, and other minds are kind of closed into.
They're in the illusion.
Yeah.
I was there. That's how I know.
Yeah.
You see, here's the thing. People say, "Well, you think you're so high and mighty," because no, fuck, I was there. I took pictures on that vacation. Okay. Seriously. Oh, good.
I really did. When I started waking up to a lot of this stuff and seeing things, I thought I had moments to myself thinking, is this the start of kind of going crazy? Or am I just, something wrong? Or
yeah.
Really, I mean, Pulsar, you probably thought that.
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking things, your mind opens up to stuff. As soon as you open your mind, it's like, whoa, I mean.
Oh, yeah, it's just so much, and then you got to put it in order or some kind.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Hey, here, for both of you, can you imagine being sane here? Of course you're crazy. The opposite of, because this place is insanity.
Right?
So, I'm sorry, but of course you're crazy, because you have to be, because if you're considered sane in this place, you're fucking nuts.
Yeah, there'd be some.
Right?
Well, that's the thing. That's the shittiest thing about it, is that all the insane people, because there's such a majority of them, that they look like that they have, they're right in the mind, because there's more of them.
The inmates are running this asylum. What you're showing them is that you're not part of the inmate problem. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at politicians, kings and queens and all the rest of it. They all get up and say, well, we have to attack this country because, that's fucking sane, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, let's go kill and murder and destroy so we can just get the slaves to rebuild it again, because they will. They're stupid. Yeah, let's go bomb the shit out of Dresden, burn it to the ground, and then we'll send in people later and we'll rebuild it. Let's make the Middle East totally radioactive so that generations can survive there. That's insane. Sure it is.
They need chaos. They need chaos. They need.
That's it. War. I mean, they need. See, that's the whole thing about the Masonic.
That's what they feed off of.
Order out of chaos. That's what the Masonic's about. So what they have to do in order to perceive and keep that order is they have to create the chaos. And here's the thing about creation, boys and girls. Chaos is creation.
Mm-hmm.
You've heard my soup bowl analogy, haven't you?
Yeah.
I don't think I have.
Oh, okay. Well, here, this is for everybody. We got 10 minutes left here. It's really short. And I discovered this making a pot of soup one day. I thought, how cool is that, right? It's amazing where truth shows up. So here I am. I'm adding different spices and whatever. I make killer soup, by the best on the planet. But anyway, I forget what was I making.
Alphabet soup.
I was making 3 mushroom.
Oh.
I love making mushroom. Oh, it's nice.
Me too. It's my favorite.
But anyway, so here I am, and I'm adding the final stuff to the soup, and of course I'm stirring the pot. Stir, get it? Pot, yeah, right. So I'm stirring the pot, and because I do that very well apparently. So I'm stirring the pot, and I'm adding a little bit of pepper. So I throw the pepper in, and as I stir, I see this this clump of pepper in the middle slowly open up. And then I thought, oh, isn't that cool? And then I thought, well, isn't it neat? Because every bowl of soup tastes like every other bowl of soup. It's not like, garlic teams up and goes over to this side of the pot, and pepper goes over here, and marjorum's just here, and you've got, Okay? So what happens is, what you're doing is you're introducing chaos and creating order. And I guarantee you, if you stir, and I thought this, and if you stir that pot long enough, every one of those grains of pepper is going to be equally distant from every other grain of pepper, as long as enough chaos is introduced into it, creation. Because creation
you're stirring it, and eventually it's all going to coalesce together perfectly.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Chaos creates order, and order creates chaos.
Mm-hmm.
It's all in the mirror, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
So there's my pot of soup analogy.
A good one.
Yeah, it's amazing where you find the truth, isn't it? I found it in a pot of 3 mushroom soup.
I use the same thing.
I completely
use the same
destroyed.
Analogy.
I completely destroyed the Masonic with a pot of soup. See, now we're getting somewhere. We're laughing. And like I said to Vanessa earlier, instead of looking at chemtrails and all the rest of the stuff and going, how do I tell people? I say, shut the fuck up, just laugh at it. And
let me stir your
soup. So that's I say, yeah, I'll stir your soup for you, I promise.
Well, all of this requires sometimes taking little baby steps into it, because some people want to just jump right the fuck down into the hole and go and ask and figure out.
Yeah, and they get their ass handed to them like I did.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And, well, hey, listen, I was just greedy for truth, so I'd have my ass handed to me a number of times in order to, get the... I did the crash course. Because most people don't realize. How long have you been in this? 10, 15, 20 years? No, I've been in this, about 3 years now.
Yeah, it doesn't take long. You meet the right people, read the right books, research the right knowledge. You're there.
No.
All right.
Live the right life and see what you've lived. If you forget who you are, those that forget the past are condemned to repeat it. The past being your life. Mm-hmm. Because every moment of your life existed prior and will exist after. You see, when you think back to when you were a kid, as soon as you go there, you're there again.
Yeah.
But you think it's not possible because you're physically, of course, the only illusion we have is the physical meat that we're playing with.
Mm.
We're just creating these beautiful pictures for ourselves. So, anyway,
when you hear a song or you smell a smell, it takes you wherever,
Yeah. It's like, it's amazing because everything you have ever learned is known. It's in your subconscious or the void, your creative divine void that's been taken over by your consent. So I'm just trying to show people how to go, hey, wait a minute. Okay, I got duped. I don't want that anymore. And then you got to stand in it. But you said, Michael, it's absolutely crystal clear. And critically important. Can I finish? Thanks. I was trying to emphasize a point. Never mind. Go ahead. Also, I've said this before in the air. You probably didn't listen to the show, but I have issue when people are talking and someone jumps in. Let the people.
All right, that will never happen. That will not happen again.
You're such a liar.
I forgot now what it was. See, that's what happens.
No,
I forget.
I know. And what you're doing is you're interrupting downloads, and I get really fucking pissed off about it, and I mute people. Okay? So, courtesy, I will listen to today. I would ask that you would do the same with me and turn the tricky little bastard off for a sec. I'm trying to think of the next clever thing to say. That's ego. Okay? So spot it, and go, shut up, sit. Okay? This is how we walk through. What Michael was saying about baby steps. Do not do more than you think you can handle. Start getting practiced at it. But if you have a truth, and here I just negated what I said for a very specific reason. If you have the truth, and you know what the truth is, and you refuse to stand in it, be ready for the pendulum, universe bitch slap, until you step off that truth. What the pendulum does is it smacks you to get you step back in it. Mm-hmm. And the only armor you have in this universe is truth. You want to go invisible? I travel all the time.
Because for each step you can look around, just like all the court stuff. You jump from one lily pad over to the other one, and then you'll get a perspective on everything around that. And all of a sudden that stuff, the language will start making sense. It'll start, you see the allegories, and jump over to the other lily pad. It'll open up a bunch of new shit. That all coincides with the other, but you'll get a better understanding of it. That's where I'm at. I'm just taking those steps, Each little pad that I jump onto, I'm able to look around and, explore that, tie everything in.
Agreed. Take your time. What's your hurry? You have infinity.
Hopscotch down that little yellow brick road,
So go ahead, Walter. What do you got?
Oh gosh.
I think we'll start going over.
That's
blah 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 blah. Download over.
Download complete.
Download complete.
I told you I'm a bitch.
But you're too cool, man.
Well, it's not like I don't tell people.
Too cool.
Yeah, I hang out with
your
guys.
Your music's beautiful, by the way. I never told you. Your music is unbelievable. It really touches a lot of hearts, you know.
Well, it's your song once you hear it, so.
True.
Hope you love your song.
My favorite's, well, you know what my favorite one is. Do you know what favorite one mine is, Kate?
No.
Field of Broken Dreams.
I was going to say F-O-B-D, but there you go.
Yeah.
I used to say fobbed. Yeah. I'm going to play fob now. What? Field of Broken Dreams.
You and those damn words.
I know.
When you hang around Kate, you just prepare to just strip down naked and just be exposed. The tricky little bastard has nowhere to hang on to, not even a belt loop.
Ooh, you are wearing panties. Yeah.
You oil yourself up, the tricky little bastard just slips right off.
Exactly. Yeah. See about the hang-ups?
I really thank you so much that you kick that tricky little bastard every chance you can get. I mean, because it really is tricky, as you said. Gosh.
It'll get you thinking it's you and everything. Yeah. No, what I do is I just take a sledgehammer and change the channel.
Chainsaw, sledgehammer.
Yeah, you could use you get up and do it. I prefer to reach over the 9-pounder and just give it a smack. Because you know what happens, Andy? Because when I do that, I smack the channel changer off, and you can't change the channel back once you get into the game. Well, I'm sorry. Did I ruin your fucking ego? I'm sorry about that.
No.
With the cable coming out of the wall, then it's like nothing left of it.
Yeah. I liked our little thing the other day. We were talking about, the human getting walked by the television head. That's your ego, right? You're going to yell at the TV? I was talking about that today again.
That's the epitome of duh.
Oh, yeah. Well, you ever watch people that, are watching a movie, and I watch this all the time, right? Watch a movie for the, second or third, fourth time, right? And they're still yelling at it. Going, oh, yeah, right. I don't know. Did you get the director's cut or something? Changes when you yell at it? Cut. Let's just redo that scene. And that's what egos do. Egos are programs, and I just choose to be the director and go, cut. Okay, we're going to retake that one. Get it?
Oh my God.
All right. Speaking of cut, you guys, I got to be getting going here, and it's been such a wonderful, fulfilled talk all night. So I thank you so much, Kate, and everybody who joined. Thank you so much.
Well, good timing. We got like 2 minutes left here, so.
Same to you.
All right. See you at the round table again.
All right, man. Much love to you. Go be the tiger you are. All right. Take care.
Good night, y'all.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody to do those cartoon things, Kate. Maybe somebody can do some sketches of the Tricky Little Bastard cartoon.
I'll actually drop a Tricky Little Bastard.
When they'll say they'll have a little tricky bastard saying, hey, this is my world. I just let you, just let you live in it.
Exactly.
I'll do all the talking for you. I'll do everything. Yeah, but that's hilarious.
I gotta have one second. Got that out. There we go. Okay.
Try to find a good movie tonight, I guess. Or a good video, either one.
Good movies.
Yeah, I kind of like
Monsters, Inc. Watch that one.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's full of truth. You'll love it. And on that happy note, I think we're going to roll out of here. It's going to roll off in 10, 15 seconds anyway. So I just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone tuned in. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow night at doubleheader, radio, and then, of course, video with Johnny, QLP video. QL television. Okay? So, wow. Love you guys. And
love you too. Love you, Kate. Thanks.
No problem. A pleasure to be in service, not of service. Big difference. Good night, everybody. Thank you, CMR.
Video provided by verdictproductions.com.